Welcome, Level Uppers, to the Level Up Show, episode 194. This is a gaming dedicated talk show, typically on every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, but tonight we are a part of Extra Life 25-hour marathon. Thank you for the Level Up. That's why we're here Saturday instead, but we do have a lot of great stories to discuss. I'm one of your co-hosts, Andrew. I make the show Midori. Of course, we got the classy douchebag Mike McLaughlin with us. And we have our two Discord community managers, Kelly Jellyfish and Joseph Vantera.
What's up?
I'm the low.
How's it feel, guys?
I'm
Here.
the low.
It
Still
feels really
surreal.
cool.
Is it still surreal?
It's still
it
surreal
hasn't
for me.
processed yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go home in like 4 days. Be like, hold on a minute. Wait, what just happened?
We were just talking right when the thing went black and you guys saw the intro.
I'd have to see.
Today's
Johnny.
been crazy.
It has been crazy.
Today's
yeah.
been an awesome day. Like, it's been fun. Drew was saying that it's the quickest this day has flown by for us.
Definitely.
Like, I absolutely agree. Like, I usually hit a wall. If you look at any other year, I hit a wall right around an odd time of like 5 to 7.
Mm-hmm.
Not a wall, but just like I get tired. I'm just like sluggish. I'm
I
just like I
definitely
need to
don't
take a
feel
break.
tired.
I don't feel
That's
tired
the
at all
thing.
right
It's
now.
like, and then I'll usually hit another wall. I usually hit a wall like 2, maybe 3 times, depending on what year it was. I have yet to feel like I'm tired. I think the makeup's actually the only thing making me feel weird.
Yeah.
Like
I put makeup on them earlier.
Yeah, so like I think my eyes
They
swollen.
were
Huh?
beautiful.
Does it make you feel pretty?
No, I think my eyes swollen. But,
yeah, it's like a little bit of a heaviness.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, they do. Look, my socks match the wheel tracker, like exactly.
Yeah, they do. It is
That's
just like
crazy.
perfect. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm having a lot of fun this year. Like Bob Ross was awesome.
That was a lot
really
of fun.
The
Yeah.
the durian fruit I was actually really looking forward to, and that disappointed me just because it wasn't exactly
Because it
what
was
I thought
rotten and we couldn't eat it.
right.
Yes.
But no, it's been a fun day.
It's been a very fun
really
day. It's moving the fastest because it has been the most fun having these two here and doing all these new crazy things. And of course, we are still playing for Extra Life right now, live at twitch.tv/The Level Up Show. It is for Children's Miracle Network hospitals throughout the United States. We're at $2,020 when you add on the $450 that hasn't processed by Guitar Freak yet. We are at $2,020. We'll be doing a canned food challenge for $2,000 in the near future, and at $2,100 we're going to do another big milestone wheel spin. So keep that in mind. It is all for the children, guys. Supporting children in need, whether they be sick or injured. So all you got to do is go to the link in the bottom left-hand corner below Kelly there, thelevelupnetwork.com/extra life. Even if it's just $5, we really appreciate that. It helps us towards our goal, and of course, it helps the kids. So whatever you can do. But if you do $15 or more, you get a spin of the Extra Life prize wheel. So keep that in mind as well. All right, and of course, to anybody new, the Level Up Show is a gaming dedicated talk show. We go through all the week's biggest gaming industry news. So if you like the show at any point, hit that heart button here at twitch.tv/The Level Up Show. Turn on notifications. Make sure you get those alerts whenever we go live. And I mean, we're not gonna do like how we doing or anything like that. Like I guess we could kind of.
What y'all been playing?
What you've been playing? I don't think it's necessary. I feel like we
well,
should
Call
just
of Duty.
Okay, you want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, Call of Duty is actually... I was looking forward to talking about it because I was already on the fence, and I wasn't sure I was going to get it. And it kind of was one of those things where I had it pre-ordered mostly for the beta, which I never even got to play. And I was pretty sure I was going to grab it once the reactions came out from the beta. It was really positive.
Yeah.
People really felt like they liked how it went back to its roots. And then I jumped in yesterday. I did a stream for a little while, you guys can see. And while I had my frustrations... it's back. It's back being what I wanted. It's the first time in a while that I've been looking forward to a Call of Duty, and I said out loud I was looking forward to it, and I feel vindicated in the final product. The only issue was that people can see they've had server issues and game crashing issues,
Yeah.
which are extremely infuriating for a company that has put out so many of the same type of game year after year after year, to where I think it's almost inexcusable. That said, I think the gameplay itself is absolutely superb. Everything feels tight. The Dean was recalling how he didn't like it because it felt like it was weighty. He didn't
Oh,
like the
really?
weightiness
Weighty?
of the-
Like
of the-
Killzone weighty?
Maybe a little bit more than normal. It definitely is a little bit slower paced than a normal Call of Duty.
Okay.
You don't have unlimited sprint. You know, you're not wall jumping anymore. You don't have the jetpacks. And for so many of those games to be out like that, even Modern Warfare had a lot of much more fast pacedness to it. So this is definitely a retread back to, you know, Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty 3, where you didn't have that, you know, quickness to
I
it.
see a few people saying it's just Battlefield now because of whatever changes. Do you agree with
Talk
that?
about what, like, how much of a stretch do you have to make? This game is a much tighter close quarters combat type game. You know, to say that it's Battlefield is kind of like saying that Yooka-Laylee is Mario. It doesn't, just because it's a platformer doesn't mean it's anywhere near the same.
It seems like it's just because of the setting, right?
Right,
We're back
and that's
to
what it is. They
World
said
War
that
II. So
they copied, and I was even one of them. I won't even give them that hard of a time for it, because I even said that. I was like, oh, they're copying it, and I even mocked them and this and that. But the product is good. Both Battlefield and Call of Duty are doing something that works really well with a setting we didn't think we would see anymore. We thought World War II was done. They have new game modes. Mind you, I've only played the multiplayer. So Headquarters is cool. It's like a Destiny-style tower hub.
That's really
between
cool.
Games, which is really cool. You can watch other people open their loot boxes, which I did, and it is actually pretty interesting for someone who streams with other people. I think that would be a very big thing, so you can see what.
do you
get
feel
in
like
there.
it's manipulative at all?
No, not at all. I looked at some of the ways that you can buy currency, and I don't look at it as any reason why I would need to spend real money. So I don't jump on the hate for the loot box bandwagon like everybody else does.
I like
just
loot
because
boxes.
I think it's fine, and unless they make you feel like you need to buy it because it's going to give someone else an advantage, or you're
Pay
going to
to
have a
win
disadvantage.
versus
Right.
cosmetics.
I think it's fine. There is a little bit pay to win in this, but if you just play the game like you did any other year, you won't have to worry about it. If you don't play the game for a week, you're going to be at a disadvantage in this type of game anyway.
As any kind of game like that, yeah.
So it doesn't really matter. So those people are just crying for nothing. They just want something to bitch about. So I really don't give a shit about that at all, and I wish that other people did. But that all said, I want to give notice to one of the new game modes that I think changes things up. And this is the only part that I do feel was borrowed from Battlefield.
Okay.
There's a thing, I think it's called War. We've only played in one map, but you played both the Allied, which in this case I think is the American Army, and the Axis, which in this case would be the Germans. And you have to take certain points. So they have a mode called Rush Mode, where you go in Battlefield, where you go, one team covers A, and you have to go and try to take it over and do something for it. This one's an action. So the first one was take over this house and make that your new headquarters. And if you spend enough time at point A, you take over the house, bam, that's it. So point B is you have to sit there and build a bridge, but you actually have to go up to the thing and lay down. You have to hold a button down and build the bridge. It's not like just standing there. You actually have to do something, so you can't shoot. So you're getting shot at and killed. Then you have to, if you get that one done, you have to escort a tank, or you have to blow up a bomb to blow up their artillery. And it has almost like a mini story, almost like a normal single player game mode would.
Okay.
So that was actually the most fun of anything I got to play yesterday. But if you guys can't tell from how much I've been able to talk about this for 5 minutes straight at least, I love this game. It is so good, and I can tell I'm going to devote a lot of time to this. Far more time than I ever thought I would, and probably more time than I'll put into Destiny or anything like it.
I would like to play it at some point.
I'll definitely bring it by.
Yeah,
I'll definitely
I don't think
jump
it's
into
worth
it.
me picking up,
No,
but
not at all.
I would like to just give it a shot, just to see what it's all about, because it does look like the one that interests me the most in probably since Modern Warfare 1.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
I think so too, because I have never been a Black Ops person. I like Black Ops and I like the multiplayer, but I don't love Treyarch all the time in the way that everybody else does. I thought Infinity Ward did it better, so I like Modern Warfare 2 was actually my favorite game. Modern Warfare 2 is probably one of my favorites of all time, and right now, as it stands, this is pretty fucking close to it.
Nice.
And level 13, so I haven't even hit Prestige yet. So I'm just
Awesome.
so psyched to get home and play more of this.
Joe, Kelly, anything you want to talk about as far as what you've been playing?
I've been trying to split my time evenly between Destiny 2 and Mario Odyssey still. I am obsessed with Mario, dude. It's so good. It's so fast paced that I have no reason to put it down. I keep learning new moves that you can do. I'll discover it by accident, just by accidentally dropping the controller, and then he'll suddenly throw Cappy in a straight, you know what I mean, in a vertical way. And you can do so many different things, and there's so many moons to collect. And with Destiny for me was a much better experience on PC than it was on PlayStation, which is where I was playing
you don't
most.
expect so, right?
Yeah, I mean, it looks beautiful. The loading times are a lot faster, which makes it more tolerable, because when you're grinding and
The
doing
key bindings are terrible though.
yeah,
on the keyboard.
I mean, my only beef is V, because that's your special skill.
Yeah,
and I can't
I've-
organically get over that.
I relocated it to my middle click,
Oh yeah.
to my mouse.
Oh, that's
wheel.
my melee.
Oh, that's your melee.
Yeah, so
I
it's
have
still
that
weird,
for.
the key binding.
I'm trying to remember what I did. Well, no, you know what? I didn't do it for that. I did it for. I did to F, because I
F.
don't have melee right there.
Is F anything by itself already?
It was Melee.
It was?
I think so.
Oh yeah,
I don't know as well, but that's the problem. Is that it was so bizarre, the key bindings that they have for the keyboard.
But you can't just change them?
You can, but
yeah.
it's just a weird thing because there's so many controls for Destiny.
Yeah.
Unlike many other games that you don't need. Like Destiny has so many controls that you need right there at the ready. You know,
Especially
in that
for
split
PvP.
second. So not having them available. So a lot of PC players are still playing on a controller.
Yeah.
Which
Like
is quite crazy.
I'll do that if I'm doing PvE, but as soon as I hop in the Crucible, like I'll hop on keyboard and mouse.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the things I'll point out with Mario that I'll give it credit to, and we'll finish it tonight, so I won't go into that too much, but they're actually rewarding people for kind of breaking the game in a way. Like, you know how speedrunners will find, really bizarre ways to, cut through levels?
Yeah.
And there was that trick when you were starting out Mario 64 to jump off the side of the ice luge and go onto that. They're actually rewarding people by hiding coins there. So I guess during QA testing, someone was like, hey, if you do this, you can do that. Yeah, you can get over here, and they just put coins there or put like secret things there for people to find. So they're not even punishing them for it; they're kind of rewarding you for really going out of your way to, research.
Joe, you say Mario Odyssey is not your favorite?
I think it is. Like,
Yeah?
It
I
was
just saw that in
Sunshine,
chat.
and now it's officially.
That's
That's
awesome.
crazy, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and pick it up this month, the Switch.
Like,
think
if
so?
anything-
I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
We'll see if I can get it.
Like if you were to buy
I'll
a
let you
Switch
know
and
if
you
I see
were,
one if you want me to.
if you were reluctant to get the Switch and you know that you would have Zelda, Mario Kart, and Zelda again, you would have to like sit down and really put like at least 90 hours or 100 hours to get the most out of it. But Mario, you can pick up and do so much in like an hour or less.
Right.
And unlock
Well,
worlds.
that's what I was doing like
dozens
last
of
night.
moons. You know,
I
like
played
it's
about a
really
half hour
fun.
just to do it. It's definitely my. I have a couple extra seconds, so I'll go get. That's
Like
one of my
10
issues
extra
is
moons you
that
can get in that
you don't.
time.
I don't feel as vindicated getting as many moons. I know that I feel rewarded, so that's my only hiccup is that I don't love how many moons you get because I feel it takes away from
There's like
the
so
excitement
many.
because there's just so many.
Yeah.
How many times did I say yo just now? Because
Several.
I didn't say yo at all once. I
You said you know.
Right, exactly. I didn't like. That's probably why.
Yeah,
I
people
didn't-
don't realize that it's you know.
That's
I
so
understand why
crazy
they think it's
now.
yo because you put them so closely together because you rush the words.
Right.
So it sounds like yo. Kelly, any
blowing my
any
mind.
games you want to talk about?
No.
I know you haven't played too much
I
recently.
haven't been playing too much. It's been like a really crazy, busy past few weeks. Like I haven't had any weekends to myself. I'm getting home from work at like 9 p.m.
That's nuts.
It's crazy. I've just been crazy busy and crazy swamped. I did play Fortnite.
I was gonna say you finally started playing Fortnite.
I mean, I had played it a little here and there. I definitely do like it. I like the controls more than PUBG.
Do you?
It feels smoother. I feel like with PUBG there's such a delay when you're running, when you're moving. You can't. It almost feels like
There's less polish.
running through Jello. Like that's
Yeah.
what it feels like. You're just sluggish. Fortnite it's easier to aim. The graphics, I think, while they're cartoonish, are actually better because the draw distance is better.
Okay.
You can see what's going on from farther away.
I think that has a lot to do with the optimization of PUBG being terrible. Most people not being able to play on high settings
Probably.
with good draw distance.
Yeah, I can't. I think I had to put mine on low, which I mean, up close combat you don't really notice a ton, but if there's a sniper on the hill in front of you, you want to see that before you die and not,
Yeah.
not after you die.
Preferably.
Right.
So no, I haven't had a ton of time.
Yeah, no, I'm still playing Evil Within, and I've talked about that several times. I'm trying to finish that this coming week. Maybe if I get 3 streams in, I'll be able to finish it. But I'm really enjoying that. And I hope it doesn't overstay its welcome, as I've said many times before. But let's get into the official non-gaming portion of the show. It's called The Level Up Show Has No Game. 3 non-gaming topics at 2 minutes each. Are we ready, guys?
Are you ready?
I'm always ready.
I'm so ready.
Let's do it. First up, it has no game. So, unfortunately, more sexual harassment accusations coming out. This one, not that big a surprise for a lot of people, because there's been rumors about Kevin Spacey being attributed with Bryan Singer and being at parties with underage boys and all this kind of stuff for a long time. But now, the guy... Sorry, go ahead.
New news in this, so go on.
Okay.
And I'll continue.
Well, the big news before this was that they canceled House of Cards.
Well, right. So the
That
big
they're
news
gonna
is
end it on
originally
season
that
6.
Season 6 was on hiatus. Season 6 was actually on hiatus, which I was looking up to make sure. Now it says Netflix drops House of Cards starring Kevin Spacey after new allegations arise, as of just 6 hours ago.
Like, it's done.
Like it's from what it looks like, it is just dead.
You know what's dumb
on
about this,
arrival.
though? A lot of these new accusations are coming out from people like that work with him at Netflix. Like, these are people on set. So, like, it just feels like the only reason they're shutting this down now is because people found out about it. Like, I think all these people knew, they all didn't say anything, and now that it came out, it's like, okay, now we'll cancel it. But you guys let this go on for how long? It's annoying.
From the surface, without knowing that information, it seems like, oh, we're dropping him. We're not even gonna entertain the idea, which is what I would typically want from somebody who's like, until we figure out what's going on, we're dropping it. But if they knew what was going on, and I feel like this is now them trying to cover, like, oh no, we're dropping him immediately, like, oh, but it's like, but you knew about it.
And I think
and
like,
you're
I feel like it's
hiding
partially an out for them because they already planned on canceling it next season anyway, I think. Because
Exactly.
the numbers have been dipping for years now. So now they're just using this as an excuse, almost in a way,
I think
to
so,
end the
'cause
show.
The last season wasn't that good, in my
It's
opinion.
like, I feel around season 3, it really
Season 3 was the end of the best parts.
I
of
slept through
Yeah.
like the end of season 3 and like all of season 4. Like, I don't remember anything that happened. It dropped because it's kind of like that thing that I was telling you guys about with like the roller coaster, where you have a start and you have the conflict and you have the end. Doesn't
They
do
even
that.
went
It just goes
to
like this.
cancel the movie he was in with that. It was actually already done too.
Wow.
Really?
Yep. So fall from grace for Kevin Spacey for sure.
Jeez.
Next up, new reports say Marvel TV can no longer lease new properties to companies not owned by Disney.
I saw this coming.
So yes, but the
We were
question
all afraid of
is,
it.
what happens to the existing leases,
Right.
if you want to call them that? What happens to Daredevil? What happens to all of the Defenders on Netflix? Do those get pulled and just canceled entirely, or do they somehow get transferred over to the new Disney
I think they're
streaming
absolutely
service?
they're going to get transferred to. I don't know that they're going to get pulled from Netflix and transferred, but I think they're going to be. I think Disney and Netflix are going to work out some sort. Disney wants to have its hands in everything. It's going to get its hands in everything some way. This feels more like an ultimatum kind of thing. Like, let us have our hands in this, or we're pulling it and stopping it entirely. Like, that's what it kind of feels like.
I read
to
it
me.
more as we want to do our own thing with our product, and you guys can't touch it.
How do you feel about ABC being the one run? Because I can't imagine them doing
Not
a
good
mature,
because
like a
ABC
Punisher. They would never do
shows
Punisher.
Suck. ABC shows are almost always bad. Mm-hmm. And that's just my style. That's for what the style that they make them in. That's how I view it.
But here's
I
the thing:
view it
that
as
is on
corny and cheesy.
That's on broadcast TV, like ABC, where
Right.
you have huge limitations. Do you think their streaming service could be different, where they could have a Punisher on there, or do you think they're going to bring over their same standards from broadcast TV to their streaming service? You know what
They-
I'm saying? Like,
they-
could there be cursing in
There
these
has to be. They
Disney
can't-
Marvel shows?
They can't just have the streaming service and only have it just be kid friendly. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, like
We would never get a Punisher show. on
Right.
No,
anything
that's what
like
I'm
that.
saying.
there's
Yeah.
money to be made. Like, I would pay for the streaming service if I knew there was good content that I would want to watch. And why would you want
Right.
to cut your demographic in half, especially when you own this ridiculously popular IP that you can do so much with?
Right.
Yep.
See, I feel like the smart move is because when I think Disney, I think like kids, family friendly. I think the smart move is to keep family friendly shows, content, IP on your streaming service, and maybe lease out and let other people and just let them do what they're doing, but
Right.
retain your name.
Yeah, I agree.
What they're doing right now, pretty much. Yeah. And yeah, Legion might also be in danger. We'll have to wait and see. But we have the full cast to Lion King now, continuing
So
on with
excited.
Disney. First up, we already knew that Donald Glover was going to be playing Simba. We also have the others that were rumored before, but now 100% confirmed. I'm going to go down the whole list for you guys here. Donald Glover is Simba. Billy Eichner is Timon, guy from Parks and Rec. Pretty
The
funny
angry guy, I love him.
The angry guy, exactly.
that
James Earl Jones is back as Mufasa.
So glad.
Such a
This is one of the new
great
ones
thing.
confirmed. Chiwetel Ejiofor, really good choice for Scar. I'm really excited to see his turn as that.
This was
Keegan
new.
Michael Key is Kamari.
which
I
is
don't
one
know
of the
who Kamari
hyenas.
is.
Yep.
Okay.
Alfred Woodard is Sarabi, who is the wife of
Sarabi!
Mufasa, if you want to call her wife. I don't know, whatever you want to say. Beyonce is Nala. All right, let's get it out, guys. Let's
I
get it
love
out.
Beyonce.
Beyonce, Queen. What? I need to
Houston
see this movie
represent.
now.
Beyonce is terrible, and this movie will be hurt
Excuse
for it.
me.
As
No,
long
that's
as all she
100%
does
true.
is sing in it, I'm totally okay with it. But if she has like
She
a big
won't.
acting role in it, then I think
She
it's a
will.
terrible choice.
Yes, thank you.
I think we
I
should
don't
go.
think so.
Kenny.
I think Beyonce is fine.
Have you
Fine.
ever seen her voice act in anything else? It's,
Doesn't mean
it's
it-
bad.
Maybe
There was
she's
a thing
got better.
that someone to justify it posted about, like, what was the movie, Epic? I
Epic,
think,
yeah.
or something, and it was just a small clip, and you're just like, it's cringeworthy.
All it takes is 10 seconds, you're like, oh, she's not good.
This is not good.
She is not good. So hopefully all she does is sing. We'll have to wait and see. John Oliver, sorry, is Zazu.
Love this.
So
Very good choice. Great choice. Eric Andre is Azizi. I think another one of the
Also
hyenas, right?
very, very good choice.
John Connie is Rafiki. Unfortunately, the voice actor of Rafiki just died recently, a week
Oh,
or two
did he?
ago. Yeah,
I didn't
the
know
original
that.
voice.
Who is John Connie,
Joey,
though?
stop that.
I wouldn't
You would recognize him if you saw
Copy
him.
and paste because I didn't know who that was.
Florence Casombra is Shenzi. I don't know if that's a new character. JD McCrary is young Simba, and Shahadi Wright Joseph is young Nala.
That's the woman hyena.
Right.
Girl hyena. No,
Okay.
no, the one that you said you didn't know, Shenzi.
Shenzi
okay.
is one of the 3 secondary antagonists in The Lion King and one of the main antagonists in The Lion King, 1.5, alongside Benzai and Ed. She is one of Scar's henchmen.
Is that Tomes that says, I'm about to call the Hive? Is that supposed to be? Is that
From
what?
the
Bring 'em.
Queen Bee.
Oh,
Bring 'em.
that's what they. Alright, God. This
Bring
makes
'em
me, this
on.
makes me want to cringe even harder.
All the single lionesses, all the single lionesses.
Oh, God. I
wrong hand, my
honestly don't get it. I just don't get it at all. The love for Beyonce.
Didn't we already do our top, like, overrated of all time? Absolutely 1000%. The most overrated thing in existence. Probably just right next to Justin Bieber.
Is Beyonce?
Beyonce's actually good though. Like, she has a
Beyonce
really good
is
voice.
relatively good.
Yeah.
And she is overhyped and overworked and
Listen to
overdone.
her transformation from like early 2090s to now. Like, she's like a totally different artist. She grows and changes and adapts, and she's an amazing artist. And she's got a very powerful voice.
Not saying that, but I don't think her music is good. I don't think the songs
I
are
think
good.
some of them are lacking.
Thank you.
Some
She
of
has
them
a
are
voice, but just
lacking.
having a voice doesn't do it all.
But
That's a
also some
statement.
of her songs are good.
Sure,
Joey,
there's
we're
a
on the
few.
same page.
No, yeah, I mean, I can't hate on Beyonce, man. Like,
She's good.
Since Destiny's
You don't
Child,
have
she's
to. I'll
just-
do it for
It's,
you.
you old geezers don't understand.
She's definitely overrated,
Okay.
that's for sure. I mean, like, she gets so much attention and hype, but it's not for no reason.
Danielle?
You know what I mean?
Beyonce, overrated?
Then she's not
She's
overrated.
only changed and grown over the years because she probably changed record labels and managers who decided to change her.
Simba, I see your halo.
AKA Jay-Z, AKA her husband.
So overrated. Thank you.
Yes.
is what Danielle is saying. We're at a consensus then. That's good. All right.
Whatever.
Moving on. Let's get into our community question of the week. What is that, Mike?
Sorry, what were we doing?
I can do it. I'm ready.
I was reading the chat. I was trying to be interactive.
Community question of the week. Every week,
Oh.
guys, you can go on our
Sorry.
Discord at discord.gg/the-level-up-network. We will post a question on our question of the week channel there, and you have the week to answer it, and then we'll feature some of you live on the show here. This week's question: how do you feel about the recent news stories reporting a shift by developers from single-player to multiplayer development? Do you think single-player narrative-driven video games are dying? Wait, did we do this already?
I don't think so.
All right. Are dying, and what was the last part of
And
that?
what is your
and what is the
reaction?
reaction
you
to that
posted
possibility?
this week.
I posted this week? Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like
it was very similar to something else we asked before, but not the same.
Okay. Just making sure.
So-
Okay. So, Rick responded. Go ahead, Mike.
Said, I've always had the stance that there's plenty of room for both single-player and multiplayer games. After these past few weeks, though, I'm not sure if that's true. At this point, it seems like Sony and Nintendo are the only publishers that want to make single-player games. That truly hurts to see, because the majority of my favorite games are awfully narrative-driven. Awfully. While I don't think they're dying yet, this was possibly the best year for single-player games ever, it's definitely seeming as if they'll be much less common going forward.
That's what kind of one of the crazy parts, Rick. Yeah, is that this is all coming out in a year where there's been such amazing AAA single player games, and also smaller, like Hellblade, which is AAA indie. You know, this has been a great year for stuff like that. Legend of Zelda, Super Mario Odyssey, you know, and many more. It's just it's kind of crazy that this is the year where it seems like all developers are like, we gotta stop making single player, guys. It's all games as a service now.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I absolutely agree. Like, I don't get it at all in any way.
I think single player games are back on the rise. I think they were dying, and because single player games were really hard to find for a while. AAA single player games were really hard to find.
I
for
think
a
they
while.
Yeah.
thought that they were going to die, but they didn't realize the
But
backlash
I think
they
they're
would get
making
from
a
the game.
comeback. Like,
I feel like they were making a comeback until all these news stories were coming out saying that.
I feel like these news stories are wrong.
You think they're not?
I-
It's not going to happen.
I think single player is going to make a brand new comeback of even if it's just something small. It doesn't need to be another Assassin's Creed 2 or not Until Dawn, Last of Us, or Horizon Zero Dawn, where it's just like one person going through some epic journey. It can just be like Alan Wake, single player
Right.
narrative. You know, those smaller things, especially like we were talking about earlier, where indie titles, I feel like, really need their full moment to shine, and they're really coming into the mainstream.
Yeah, that's the thing is we're not
thing.
talking about the indie guys right now. We're definitely talking about all the AAA guys.
But it goes into kind of like we were talking about with Xbox. If they would just let and stop focusing on like, oh well, I need 10 million copies of Lara Croft
Right.
to sell, and let the indie guys be in their mainstream play, I guess, and in that queue, they would fare a lot better. And there's so many cool stories to tell that are just more than, oh, go in a room with a bunch of people and shoot each other.
Yeah.
That's your multiplayer.
Right.
You know?
Noble Ali says, thoughts on Ghost of Tsushima? That's a perfect example. Like, Sony is definitely the odd one out, and Nintendo kind of as well. Like, God of War is next year, Detroit is next year. Now we know about Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us Part 2. Like, they have no shortage of great single-player experiences coming our way, and Ghost of Tsushima looked awesome. 100%. That's one of the highlights of PGW for sure.
So
So,
the answer is great, well written, 100,000 points to Gryffindor. Because extra life for the kids.
next up.
Ginkgo Swag responded with, I think what will happen is major publishers will shift to multiplayer as the main game for a while and then be forced to shift back. After single-player focused developers like Sucker Punch, Naughty Dog, Guerrilla Games, Kojima Productions, CD Projekt Red, Warhorse, and most of Sony studios gained a whole market share of story-heavy single-player games, the big publishers will come back. I think single-player game sales will increase to a point where the big publishers won't be able to ignore it. I also think it'll cycle through the balance out in the end, maybe after 2 generations pass. I agree where I think it's going to shift for certain developers and then shift back. I think what we're still in this transition period where all we had for the longest time was only single player, and then we got multiplayer. But multiplayer was a weird thing where some games focused only on multiplayer. A very small percentage had both good multiplayer and good single player, and then the rest just only did single player. Now it's this idea of we can do all of it, and this is exactly what everybody wants, and that's what these people that are running companies like EA are thinking, and that are running Kojima or Konami are thinking. You know, they are thinking that we all need these interconnected products that we constantly have to come back to, and it's honestly to further their business and put money back in their products, and the projects that they spend so much money on at the time. We are going to find that they are going to go back, and some of these games are going to be perfect for single player, and they're going to have their market. We're going to have some of these games that only focus on the multiplayer, and that's all you're really there for. Some of them are going to hold that perfect balance, like Destiny, right in the middle, where you can do the single player by yourself, you can do the multiplayer at the same time, but we're not there yet, and these big publishers think that everything has to be in one side.
Yeah.
It's not balanced.
I think they'll realize that it's not the way to go. It's two extremes make no sense. There is a middle ground, and I think we just need to go through, as you said, transitional period where the AAA guys come to realize
You know
that.
what I miss?
What?
I miss campaign co-op. I feel like we don't see that a ton anymore. Like, you can do online camp, like Fable.
Online campaign co-op would have been
2.
amazing.
I
in
really
most-
miss
in more
games like
games.
that. Like Halo,
Yeah.
you could go in by yourself, you
Yeah.
could go in with a friend, and you could run through the campaign together.
I thought that we would get more of that, but it seems like
I feel
once
like that's the
couch
best of
co-op
both
died and
worlds.
house co-op died, you got less and less of the online co-op. I figured that by couch co-op dying, you would
You
at
would
least get
engage
more.
online co-op.
And no, you're just not getting any co-op at all. People are thinking like, oh, you're either playing by yourself or you're playing against each other. You know, and it's just like, no, I don't want to kill my
Or you're
buddy.
playing like Destiny with this massive, like it's not
Right,
like,
like I just
going
want
through a linear story with like
it would be amazing. Like remember,
like it's a
we
nice
had fun
balance.
and we didn't play it a ton, but Resident Evil 5 we had a great time with, and I think
Yeah.
that would be a great stream if we ever had that. And I miss games like that. So
Far Cry 5. Thank God, yeah, that's a good example. of
yeah,
one
that's
still
gonna be
coming.
amazing. I can't wait to jump into that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good one.
But anyway,
Awesome answer from an awesome guy. Ginkgo Swag gets also 100,000 points, but to Ravenclaw.
next up.
Hepman RX responded, "Oh man, I know where this one's going already. I feel that is okay. I feel that it's EA's goal to crank out service-based games to formulate the GTA 5 online $sign. They grossed nearly 800 mil in microtransactions annually from the FIFA series. If they could have 10 AAA titles generating that amount on a yearly basis for little game maintenance and server updates, why wouldn't they? I don't worry about story-driven single-player games disappearing. Video games are rooted in storytelling. The cost of making games and publishing games is low. If the good
I don't know what's
idea...
happening. I think somebody might have donated. Something got all messed up there.
If the idea is good, Kickstarter or any name crowd sourcing route is viable. All right, so it's a little confusing, but I get what they're saying. So he's basically saying that, and he's true. He's right. They see these things, and we always forget that
geez.
GTA 5 is still going and making a ton of money. Because a lot of times I think about FIFA and NBA Live and all these other ones where people are spending a ton of money on microtransactions and Madden and all these packs and everything.
Right.
But look at GTA 5, man. This online, or GTA Online in general, is just making constant. It's just printing money for them at this point. People are still going in and playing it to the point where I've even debated: do I want to grab this now that it's $20 and just play online for a little while?
My brother and my two brothers actually still play like every day.
My coworkers who have been like constantly are looking for other games to play. We played Wildlands together. We played Destiny together. This and that. They're even like going back into GTA 5 here and there. Kind of funny, you just started making a big push out of going back into GTA Online again. So there is a reason why developers or production companies like EA and Activision and Rockstar are focusing on games like this, but it's not. I feel like they think it's the only solution to business, and it's not. Are you donating again?
No.
No, I was trying to see if somebody did donate because it did like a weird thing for a second there, but I don't think it was a
My
donation. I think it was
secret
just a
is
mess
that
up.
I'm too short to sit in this chair because it hurts my knees, so I have to use a footstool.
All right, I don't think anybody donated there.
No, I don't think so. I think you just danced.
Do we want to check the... It just looked like everything went at once.
Yeah, it's still Johnny at 20.
Yeah, I didn't see
for
anything
the most
change.
recent,
So.
and I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we did that already.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
think-
no donations yet. Keep
But,
in mind that we're trying to raise money, though, guys, for Extra Life.
That was a good answer. A little disjointed, a little bit out there, but what can you expect from somebody in Hufflepuff with all that smoke going around? So,
I don't understand what the hate... We're gonna
90,000
fight right
points.
here and right now. What is your problem with Hufflepuff?
huh?
What is your
It's-
problem with Hufflepuff?
I don't have a problem with Hufflepuff.
They're just kind of like the forgotten
Stoners.
one. They just don't have like any.
They're loyal. They're great friends.
They're squishy.
I'm sure they
They're
are.
kind and generous.
I'm sure they are.
They're the best
I-
house.
There's nothing wrong with Hetman RX. I don't have any problem with
How many
it.
points, Mike?
90,000.
There you go.
It's right up there.
Next up.
Next up was Warmcoat, and he says, I was worried at first, but the success of single-player games this year has calmed me down. The games I think of when I'm considering GOTY are all single-player. Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, Horizon, Nier, Persona 5, etc. I can't think of any multiplayer game that comes close. Short and to the point, and while I agree with you, the problem is the economics don't see it the same way.
Right.
All these games sold very well and made a lot of money, or at least many of these, because Nier sold well but didn't make as much money. Again, games like Destiny, games like FIFA, games like GTA Online, they're constantly making money, and that's why you're putting these things like microtransactions. Was it you?
Yeah.
That was
Oh, it was you?
No. Kelly with the $15?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, here's what I think. I think that they're not so much saying that there's a problem with selling 5 million or even 10 million units. It's just that that's not what it's important anymore. As we're going to talk about with Sony later on, it's not about the units you sold. It's about your monthly active users now. It's about how many people are still playing and how many people you can sell new content to with microtransactions and this and that. So
Everything in business world is all about monthly active users, whether you're talking about websites, games, mobile games, mobile apps, Facebook, we all measure them. Look, right now, when was the last time you talked? We just had stories about how PUBG, while it sold extremely well, it was in the news for having the most concurrent amount of players.
Right.
Who cared about that? Who cared ever before if Mario 64 had 500,000 people play it, on any given day? That was never a concern, and now it is. And that's the issue.
right.
But that said, it was still a great answer and concise and to the point. I will give that one 50,000 to Hufflepuff
Hufflepuff currently in the lead.
to calm the angry redhead on the side. Rose City Matt said, I'm always worried about the possibility of single-player video games dying because I really am horrible at multiplayer games.
Me too.
I'm less horrible at single-player because I get to dictate what difficulty I'm playing on. A very scaredy cat, but absolutely correct
I'm
answer.
actually somebody who will just put it on easy mode just so I can get through a story. Because if I'm stuck on a stupid battle for 10 hours, I'm like, I'm not having fun. I'm going to put it on easy mode, get through the battle, get through the puzzle.
It's funny, some games
whatever
actually
it
call it
is.
story mode now, where it makes it really easy for the people that just want to go through the story.
I just want to see the story. I just want to see
Yeah.
what happens.
Yeah.
I'm more narrative based. I like narrative.
I'm with
so
you.
I want to
Yep.
I get that.
experience
Especially
the
when I'm
story.
streaming, like, I sometimes feel very tempted to just put it on easy so that I can get through the game at a normal pace and not get frustrated and have it overstay its welcome. Like, sometimes it's just better to put it on easy. Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's a fine answer.
That was an absolutely fine answer. I'm going to give 10,000 to Hufflepuff.
Is anybody in Slytherin?
No, because
You are.
those are the people that said, no, more multiplayer games, fuck single player, and they don't care about anything else.
That would have been Slytherin.
That would have been Slytherin. Sorry.
Slytherin!
Slytherin over here, man.
Just reason with the rest of your team. Get
All right,
them
let's
on the same
do
page.
a wheel
Tell them to
spin.
stop trying to kill Harry Potter.
For Kelly.
Yeah.
Kelly's donation means
It's
we
the movie
need
without us.
$65 more to get to 2,100 and our next big milestone wheel spin.
Oh,
Keep-
what is
no,
that, by the way?
The next,
After canned fruit.
well, we have to do canned fruit, but I mean 2,100, meaning like the next $100 spin, which could be lip sync, solos, you know,
Right, but
stuff
we
like
met the canned food challenge, so now what else are we trying to get to?
that. After canned food
next
is 2,250.
Yeah.
And that is Bean Boozled
Extreme.
Oh, boy.
Bean Boozled Extreme.
That's going to happen during Horror Hour.
It might. It
Oh,
might.
man, that's going to be
Well, let's spin the wheel for
terrifying
Kelly.
itself.
Put it back to normal wheel spin.
How you doing over there?
I'm okay, I'm tired.
I can tell.
Can you?
Uh-huh.
That's good.
When are we doing the canned food? I don't know if we should do it during the show. Maybe we should do it like right after.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we'll say that for afterwards.
What does that say?
When you're doing charades.
I will do it. I can get it happen. All right. Another video game charades. All right. Let me think here. All right. Let me
Maybe I
think.
should try Final Fantasy again.
Yeah. Right. Okay. All right. Let me think here. No, that would be too easy.
Hey, camera.
We should make Joe do it. Joe hasn't
Camera
done
me.
one.
Joe, you want to do charades?
Well, I want to, but my left leg hurts so bad it hurts to walk.
Maybe it's your bedazzled socks.
Excuses.
No, it's more like, well, it has to do with being drunk on
Excuses.
Halloween.
Okay.
Hold on. What is it? Couch cam?
Control Shift minus.
Control Shift minus all at the same time.
That
Why don't I
works
just
too.
do that?
Yeah, you can just do that. Okay. We're good.
Hold on. Go.
Okay. Video game. That's what I'm gonna do. Not a video game character. Video game. Okay.
How many words?
Him?
I. Me.
Well.
I am Setsuna.
I am Setsuna.
Two words.
Okay. 2 words. My.
I robot. My sprinkler.
Keep that in mind. Keep that in the back of your mind.
Okay.
Ice sprinkler.
Giant. Monster.
Knack.
Did he say it was 2 words?
Yeah.
It's Bioshock Infinite.
I was just trying to get you to think about Bioshock,
Yeah.
the Big Daddy.
What was
Thank you.
the spinning?
That was a lighthouse. I was trying
Oh.
to make you think of a man. I was going to do a city and a lighthouse, but I guess I didn't need to. Joe got it.
Yeah.
Good job,
Never
Joey.
would have got that.
Way to go, Joe.
I get the stomping now. Big
Yeah.
Daddy.
Big
and the-
Daddy, yeah. I know there's no Big Daddies in Infinite, but I just wanted to get you guys thinking about Bioshock.
How'd you get infinite from
Is that? Oh,
Those two
Bioshock.
words.
Because it was 2 words.
Oh, good job.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
What
how'd you
about
get 2
Bioshock
words
2?
out of just Bioshock,
Yeah.
but Bioshock
What happened?
Infinite.
What about Bioshock 2?
Because
That's not 2
Bioshock,
words.
I mean, it's it's just, I
Because
don't
it
know.
doesn't
words.
exist. We forgot that one.
Yeah, that's true.
We're getting
That
out
one's
Bioshock,
terrible.
too. All right. I think we're caught up.
And there's no one here to argue it.
Yes.
Yes, it
All
finally
right.
wins.
Let's move on to The Level Update, their weekly discussion of the most biggest gaming industry news.
Wow, that's loud.
So just so you guys know, black, red is Mike, green is Kelly, blue is Joe.
Oh, sick! You
On the
already.
outline.
I'm green.
You're green.
Sick.
First up, Sony has raised their sales
Bar?
forecast from I think it was 78 million for the fiscal year of 2018 up to 79. They raised it up 1 million units. Push Square writes Sony has shipped a dizzying 67.5 million PS4 consoles as of 30th of September. The manufacturer's latest financial results reveal the organization moved an impressive 4.2 million units in the quarter spanning the 1st of July to 30th of September. To put this in perspective, it looks like the PlayStation 3, around 7 years, is at 80 million units, and a PS4 is on track to do that in just over 4. And that is without even hitting, as we talked about earlier, that coveted $199 price tag. That's why I was saying next year, I think they might forecast 21 million even, considering how big next year is going to be. But it's not just the hardware that's performing well. Gaming revenue is up 5.4%. Year over year in quarter 2 2017, which the platform holder attributes to an increase in software sales through the PlayStation Store. Sony has also sold 1.5 million PSVR headsets, as we talked about earlier. It's actually doing really well. The headset is sold in several. What are you guys doing? I can't see. Is sold in several different bundle configurations, ranging in the U.S. at least from the $500 launch bundle to the new discounted standalone headset at $290. Considering all that, it looks like they might have sold upwards of $525 million in PSVR, which is nothing to sneeze at, and something I'm sure Microsoft is looking at. So we have a question for you guys. Where do you think PS4 will fall in its lifetime sales? Will it be in first place, beating PS2's 155 million, the best-selling console of all time? Will it be second place above PS1's 103 million? Will it be in third place above PS3's 80 million? Or will it somehow drop off a cliff and not even reach PS3? Kappa. So let me put that in the chat for you guys. Where do you think PS4 will fall in lifetime sales? Let us know in the poll,
What do you
of course.
think?
I think that it'll pass PS3's 103 million, but I don't know if anything will ever reach
I don't-
PS2's 155.
I don't think.
I think
so.
it'll come close. I think it'll maybe be like 135.
You really think so?
I think it
I don't
absolutely
think
could.
so.
The only difference
be
is
amazing.
how. I think the issue is how long do we have until the PS5 comes out? Because the one of the biggest things was the length of time the PS2 had before the
Right.
console came, and then the other one was the amount of support it got afterwards. So I think that definitely plays into it. I mean, it was also a different time. You had, again, more single-player games. It wasn't so focused on multiplayer where you had to have the newest console available to support the games that you
I
played.
think PS2 was actually sold until like 2012, I want to say. Something
it wasn't
ridiculous like that.
that long ago.
Yeah.
Like, it was, I think it was actually in, like, 13. Because I think I
read yesterday it was 2012, but
I don't know, maybe.
I could be wrong. But either way, it wasn't that long ago that they finally stopped production on PS2. You guys
crazy.
are voting for second place, which is above PS3's 103 million. I feel like that's a safe answer
Absolutely.
for sure.
I can see that.
Moving on.
Moving on, Super Mario Run has yet to reach an appropriate profit point. The Verge writes, Nintendo's first mobile game, Super Mario Run, was enormously popular, but that doesn't mean it was a success for the company. During its most recent earnings report, Nintendo revealed that Mario Run has been downloaded 200 million times, 90% of which came from outside of Japan. However, Nintendo says that despite these big numbers, the game has, quote, not yet reached an acceptable profit point. While Nintendo didn't reveal any specifics with regards to conversion rates, a sticking point for many with Super Mario Run was its comparatively large price point. It's free to download but requires a one-time fee of $9.99 to unlock the whole game. However, Nintendo is looking for success with the release of Animal Crossing Pocket Camp on mobile next month. Like Fire Emblem Heroes, the game will utilize a more standard free-to-play structure with in-app purchases that can be used to purchase consumable items and speed up certain in-game actions. Quote, our objective is to offer a service that allows even customers who do not normally play games on a regular basis to have a little fun each and every day, Nintendo says of the upcoming game. So we have a poll that we will go to after this one, but I have not touched Animal Crossing on my phone yet, besides the last time when I showed it off last Sunday.
Right.
And just because I don't have time, but I'm looking forward to it. I think this is smarter, but this doesn't surprise me.
No, just everybody wants free to play, right? At least
Right.
for the most part, and then the microtransactions. That's where the money is at. That's what they did with Fire Emblem, I think, said right.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. Anybody here play Super Mario Run?
I tried.
I even bought it.
I think I tried to download it, and I just where I was, it just wasn't downloading, so I gave up.
I was super excited to play it, but like once you realize you have to pay for the whole thing, it was kind of a
Yeah.
They dropped
Stupid
it
thing to
down
do.
to $5 now. And I bought
did
it.
they?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I
would
bought
probably
it
get
because
for
of that.
$5, but not for 10.
And that's the thing is that I think had it released differently and not, I think, and we all said it when it showed that it was at $10, that we kind of all knew that was bad for it. But if you released it at 5, it could have been just as bad because almost no games released on mobile at 5. But if you released it as free to play like they did, with certain levels being available for $2 and then the full game being available for X amount, I think they would have seen far more profits. I think that by restricting it in the way that they did, it was smart to get people to buy more because there's not really too much you can do. Like, imagine if you only had, there's a lot of games that I'll even play just to kill time where once you have 3 lives and once you lose all of them, you have to wait X amount of time. And you know what happens when that comes up and I lose all 3 times and, I can't play anymore? I come back a week later. I don't even bother waiting that time. I don't play the next day. I take time off from it for X amount of time, and that's terrible. So there's a fine line, but it's...
I remember when they first revealed Super Mario Run, and we all thought they were going to make like serious bank.
Mm-hmm.
It was like this thing is going to do insane numbers, and they're going to make so much money. Like I honestly, I'm surprised that I'm not surprised. Like I do think the $10 price point wasn't smart, but at the same time, I'm a little surprised that like people still didn't just jump on it for $10 just because of how big Mario is. It's the first time it's ever been on iPhone where so many people have access to it. I thought it was going to be huge, like so huge that I can't believe it didn't reach appropriate price or profit point. Like did they not, does that mean they didn't make profit or just not as much as they thought they would? Like
I mean,
feel
like
if
I
it
was
an actual
furious when it
platformer.
happened.
you were furious?
It'd be
Yeah.
different.
Why
I'm
were
gonna
you
cut you off.
furious?
Because like I was so excited, I put like when a game's gonna be released on the App Store, you can kind of I'm not pre-order but get notified when it's gonna come out.
I think we all did actually
When
because
it-
it was like a month in advance.
When it was coming out on the iPhone, my friend got it first. I was so jealous. I really wanted to play it.
It
And
was
then
Android.
she told me that it only came out for the first 3 levels or something, and then you had to pay $10
Yeah.
for the whole friggin' game. And like that pissed me off because when I finally got it and I played it, I had fun, but it was hardly anything. You barely got a taste of the game.
Right.
$10 worth of fun.
Exactly. And you had to pay to get to the Bowser level, which was stupid. And if they had released the game for like $5.99, $4.99, I would have bought it
Yeah.
for the whole thing and played it and gladly given the money for that. But no, I was so upset. I was so pissed off that I had to pay $10 for the rest of it, and like I just put it down. Why am I going to do that for? I got a
Yeah.
whole bunch of free to play games on my phone, and I got Mario on my Switch and 3DS. Like I'm not paying for this.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Jellyfish, you're up with the next story.
I am up. I just ate a whole bunch of like candy corns. My teeth hurt.
Oh well, it's
From
the
all
worst
the-
thing in the
from
world,
all the
so no
sugar.
surprise.
That's terrible.
That's your
That's the
fault for
worst thing
eating
anybody's
candy
eating
corn.
today.
Candy corn is the best. I only had like 6 or 7
The
pieces.
pumpkins are good. That's kind of it.
Alright, so EA is in no rush to make more games for the Switch. The Wall Street Journal writes, EA is waiting until Nintendo Switch has been on the market for a full year before deciding whether to release more games for it besides FIFA 18.
Oh
the
my
company's
God, there's
finance
such a
chief Blake
joke.
Jorgensen tells WSJ. Jorgensen says it's too soon for EA to judge the success of FIFA 18 on the device and wants
right.
to fully understand what the demand is for the Switch before committing more resources to it. I feel like it's selling out of every store every day and no one being able to find it kind of gives you an idea of the demand for games on Switch. Like, what are they doing?
I don't understand EA at all right now. They are here's the thing. Anything EA has said over the last month has, if nothing else, shown that
They're out of touch.
their passion as gamers is the last thing that they focus on. And I don't know if they just don't realize it or they just don't care. And I'm afraid to say I think it's the latter just because we are only going to pay for it as fans of EA games. I think that they are just you want to talk about a company full of suits, that right now is EA. EA is now showing the colors of the EA that everybody feared years ago.
At the same time, though, like I think it also is kind of crazy to see how much damage Nintendo did in the previous generation, to the point where even with how amazing the Switch is doing,
Yeah.
EA's still like, I'm staying away from this thing until like I want to see a full year
Right.
of amazing sales, because they still feel like somehow it might drop off a cliff in Nintendo fashion or something.
I just don't see that happening.
No, I don't think so either. But it's just kind of crazy to me that Nintendo was so poor last generation that is what's happening now. Like EA is like, we want to see awesome numbers for a
Right.
full year before we're going to jump on board this thing.
Like, EA has never failed at anything before.
Right, I know. Yeah. Honestly, like, Nintendo has been pretty consistent for the most part. They had one year where they were, one generation where they were skyrocketed with Wii, and they had one generation where they plummeted with Wii U. But otherwise, they've been pretty consistent with like a $20 to $40 million units sold kind of thing. They've never been like spectacular like Sony has,
Yeah.
as far as units sold. At least not since like Super Nintendo days. So they just kind of had like a weird extreme up and down, and now they're going back to their norm. So yeah, I agree with you. Like, everybody has their ups and downs. Like, it happens. Yeah, PS3 was at least at the beginning a flop, and they were able to course correct. But Wii U, they just couldn't do that. All right, moving on. Joe, you were up with the final story of this first level update.
Nier Automata director Yoko Taro would like to work on a large budget Final Fantasy. Your games often feature outcasts. Are you particularly drawn to archetypes that do not appear in other games? Yoko Taro, honestly, I do not understand outcasts myself. As someone who is a fan of pop culture and TV entertainment, there are many things I do not understand about them, but I gather the opinions of friends who belong to these minority groups and get some inspiration from the struggle that they face. Everybody's a little bit strange, so I take the uniqueness and strangeness of all these individuals. How do you pronounce that name? Yosuke Saito?
Yeah, I think that's right.
I'm actually rather
Sounds
interested
great.
to see if Yoko-san would be interested in working on a Final Fantasy title featuring the similar strangeness. Yoko Taro says, I'm hoping for a big budget if I do work on it.
A lot of people really excited about the idea just because he is so bizarre. He's the guy that wears like the weird helmets and stuff when he goes out there on stage, and Nier is a very strange series. So to imagine him taking on a Final Fantasy title, I could never see Square Enix being like, yeah, we're gonna give you a main line, let's see what you do. That would be honestly really ballsy on their end, and I think it would be really cool of them to do that. But I feel like they are much more likely to be like, hey, here's this cool Final Fantasy spin-off you're allowed to do.
Yeah.
And do something crazy, like whatever you want it to be.
Dude, imagine if they did like a spin-off, like a smaller title, but focusing on Arden.
See, I don't think like they would give him like a Final Fantasy 15 spin-off. I think he would just get his own like.
I'm
literally-
saying imagine if they did though. I
Yeah.
think he would do really. Don't think about it realistically, but like I think he could do really well with a story, being told like that about this demon who just wants to, become human.
Yeah, I
know,
think he would
like-
do well with it. I imagine that they would want to keep the original team that worked on that series to keep like a cohesive feel.
Yeah.
I feel like he's so different that it wouldn't really feel like it belonged in the Final Fantasy 15 universe potentially. Not saying it wouldn't be cool. It probably would be cool. I just expect that like what I would want from him at least is just like, hey, go nuts, man! Like this is your world. Like you just Final Fantasy, Crystal theme, Moogles, Chocobos, Sid, all the elements. But this is your Final Fantasy spin-off game. Like go
I like
nuts,
that.
do something cool with it, man. Like I think that would be really really cool to see.
I would play that. Like, I'd want to see something, like Metal Gear, like Revengeance, or
Right,
Hack and
yeah.
Slash or something,
Right.
but like flashy, but in the world of Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
I think
there's a lot of potential just within that mythos. Like
Yeah.
you could just go so many directions, and I imagine he would do something bizarre and like probably mature rated too. Like that guy, I can't imagine doing anything but
just be
mature
bloody and
rated.
sexy,
Yeah, it'd be
right?
like weird blood and sex everywhere. Yeah, like that's what I would imagine from him for a Final Fantasy game, and that would be bizarre. All right,
Got trailer.
trailer of the week. We're gonna have to stay zoomed out for this one actually, which
Danielle.
is unusual.
Do you want to watch this as For the Room? Or the spin-off, the Disaster Artist one?
I'll put it on my phone.
Oh, I like that.
I was gonna say, if
I'm
you
excited
come over
to see
here, you can actually see the TV without being on camera.
That's okay. I'll watch it on here.
Okay.
After
You won't be able to hear it.
She'll hear it. She'll
Like,
just see
Just
it
come over and sit
after.
over here.
She'll be able to hear through the
So
TV.
tired.
Alright.
All right, we are going to do a trailer reaction. I'm going to potentially archive this, so let's do a introduction for this. Let me get it set up. All right. Welcome, level uppers, to a live reaction time. We got the second trailer for Disaster Artist. Anybody see the first trailer?
I think so. I think
Many,
I did.
many, many times.
time.
Everybody here seen The Room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
it was such a good movie.
No.
Yes, I mean I've seen the iconic
Right.
parts of it,
Right.
but I haven't seen the whole movie.
I know
really
what
good.
it is. I know that it's a disaster.
Hold on a second. Really good, as in
Like really good. Like
No.
it was like sad, but it was also
No. Okay, wait.
Wait,
the
Joe, are
story
you
was
talking-
good and the
are we talking
plot
about
was
the
good,
same-
or everything
like
about
The
it
Room
was good.
with what's her name?
No, wrong one.
oh, you're thinking of
Oh,
Room.
Oh,
You're
I was
thinking-
about to say. I was like,
geez.
I was so
Oh,
confused for a
boy.
second there. Do you
Oh,
know
it
what The
was
Room
like,
is?
whoa.
The Room. I don't.
It's
think I
considered
do.
like one of the worst movies of all time. Like
It's
people
a
go to
cult
see it now
classic because of how
it's
bad
so
it
bad.
is.
Yeah.
No, I never saw this.
You're tearing me
Oh my
apart,
God. So he's never seen the
Lisa!
I
trailer
did
yet.
see it. I saw it when I was. a
Wow. Okay.
kid. Yeah.
All right. So then, you're gonna be learning this for the first
So
time. Interesting.
right, so this is what's his name?
Well, James Franco
James
is working
Franco
on
playing this character right here.
Oh, I see it.
this. Okay. Well, I'm very curious to see what you're gonna think of this. Then let's watch the trailer for The Room, not Broom.
Yeah, I loved it. It's a great.
The Room was good though. You're right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's watch it.
Okay, who here can really reveal themselves to the class? Anybody?
I go. Don't talk about me, not to class, not to anybody.
Yeah, no, of course.
Show up on time, try not to fall asleep, everybody.
Am I hearing an accent?
Oh, no, what we're doing.
How old are you?
Oh, wow, Greg age.
You're 19? Yeah. I just turned 14.
Happy birthday. This is my movie, and this is my life.
You know, Greg, you and me, we are the same. Oh yeah, how's that? We both have this dream.
And we'll be famous.
Yeah, I guess we do.
You have a malevolent presence. You are a perfect villain. I could see you as Dracula, Frankenstein.
I'm not Frankenstein. I am hero.
Why give them job? I give them salary. I will spend $5 million on this movie, Greg.
Are you kidding me? $5 million?
And they are not grateful. Nobody respects my vision.
Where were you born, Tommy? Greg, that's not part of the scene. Now, you want an easier question? Where does the money come from, huh?
Stop. This is on camera.
I know it's on camera, just like you want it.
I do this whole movie for you, Greg.
Can we just take it again? Try to lose the accent.
The rules to the club are simple. And the question for was done.
What? What? I couldn't even understand that. Wow, that was a surprisingly dramatic
Yeah.
trailer. The first trailer was like comedy, like pure
Yeah.
comedy. Clearly,
Oh
like
my
almost to the point
God.
where you're like, I wonder if this is just a spoofy kind of movie. But clearly, you can
think
see
it's a
here that
More
it's not.
dramatic.
Yeah,
It's more of a biopic, like an actual legitimate. Like we're gonna try to tell this the exact way it
yeah.
happened.
And that's
Like-
I called it. Remember in that first trailer? I said like
Yeah.
I have a feeling this is gonna be like Oscar contender kind of movie where James Franco is gonna maybe be Best Actor contender kind of.
He's very
role.
good. I like that they, and this is more of a tribute to costume and makeup, but both of the Francos are in there, and
Yeah.
they don't look alike.
No.
No,
where
they
they
made
are.
him look completely different.
Yeah.
He really does look like Tommy Wiseau.
Dave and James Franco are in that.
Have they acted together before in the same movie?
They probably have. I just can't think of one off the top of my
If
head.
anything, small thing, like small little bits. I don't think they've ever been a big.
I always
movie
get them
together.
mixed up because they look so similar to me.
They can, yeah.
That I'm like, I don't know which Franco that is. It's just a Franco.
The way that they do, they like the way that they had Franco capture Tommy Wiseau is like with the eye and everything is just perfect.
Yeah, like certain angles for him, like you can't even tell it's James Franco.
No, like the one when he was on the couch that they just showed.
Yeah.
like that was so perfect.
I'm curious, like, what do you think the balance is going to be? Do you think it's going to be more drama than comedy, or do you think more comedy than drama?
I think it's going to be an even mix of. I think it's meant to be a drama, but because of how bad the movie is and
Just how ridiculous this
how
situation is.
how
yeah.
ridiculous Tommy is, it's going to be comedic. But I don't think it's meant to be a comedy.
I think it's going to
necessarily.
be much more drama. Actually, I think that they're trying to tell the story and give an example of why this guy is how he is, and or just who he is, you know, and
Right.
you know, an account of all the other people that were involved. and everything. Because I don't know too much about Tommy Wiseau. I don't know if he, is just a great, guy that just is,
he's an individual.
Yeah.
Like anytime somebody talks about him, it's just like you'll never meet anybody else like him in the entire world. There's nobody else like him. I mean, he says now that it was supposed to be satirical and ironic and all this kind of stuff, but I mean, anything anybody says about him when it was in production was that he thought he was making a masterpiece. He thought he was making this artsy film that was going to be remembered forever, and now he's just kind of changed his tune on it. But at the same time, he's kind of owned up to it at the same time, as far as I know, where like he will go to the screenings where like they'll have these nights where everybody comes to watch the movie just because it's so bad, and he'll go there and like kind of play along with the whole thing and just just own it, which is kind of cool. I respect that he doesn't like shield himself from it all. Just he didn't like go into the dark. Like he didn't just like run away and put himself in a bunker. Like he actually talks about it. He goes to things, like he owns it, and I think that's pretty cool actually. But I can't wait to see this movie actually. I think
when is it? December?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's December, so. And we need to watch The Room before that happens.
Yes,
we definitely need to watch it. We should do a watch along for sure. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching this reaction time, of course. If you like the video, hit that heart button here on youtube.com/levelupnetwork. Leave your comments, leave your feedback. And if you want to see these live, go to twitch.tv/levelupshow and leave us a heart there. Until next time, take care. And as always, don't forget to
level
up.
Thanks, Joe.
You're welcome. Thanks, Joe. Level up, guys. Moving on, let's get back into the level update. We're moving along pretty quick here.
My back is
I
killing
have
me.
no idea who that person is.
Do you
Tommy
want to sit
Wiseau?
here, Mike?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Where you can like lean back.
No, I'm fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I guess you've never seen anything of The Room, Danielle?
No, she hasn't seen anything for it.
Never even
We've
heard
watched
of it.
that trailer before. Or the other
long
trailer.
ago.
And you said that it looks interesting.
We should all just get together and watch The Room. All of us. We just all get together and watch it.
Absolutely.
100%.
That's what I meant, yeah.
Alright, moving on. Let's get back into the level update. First up, poor sales numbers are pushing Housemarque to get out of the arcade genre.
No!
Yes, big no there. Quote, however, despite critical success and numerous awards, our games just haven't sold in significant numbers. While some of them have reached a massive audience due to free game offerings across various digital sales channels, this unfortunately doesn't help pay development, which gets costly for high production quality. But now it's time to move on to new genres. Lackluster sales of Nex Machina have led us to thinking that it's time to bring our long-standing commitment to arcade genre to an end. While this genre will always hold a special place in our hearts, the industry is moving more toward multiplayer experiences with strong, robust communities, and it's time for Housemarque to move forward with the industry. Hence, Nex Machina and Matterfall will be the last of their kind coming out of our studio. One purpose as a company remains the same, however, to create enjoyable and memorable gaming experiences for players while simultaneously creating a great workplace that allows people to flourish both professionally and personally. These, of course, are the kind of stories that spawned the question of the week about, like, are developers moving towards multiplayer and our single player or even arcade games going to get shunned as a result? We have a poll for you guys as well. Which genre would you like to see Housemarque try out? Would it be role-playing, third-person action, first-person shooter, MOBA, or other? I'll put that in chat for you guys. What do you guys feel about this? Any Housemarque fans here?
Yes.
I know I personally love their stuff.
I wanted to play Matterfall, but I never got a chance to.
I have not played Matterfall at all yet.
I heard that was actually one of their weaker ones in
Really?
comparison to like Nex Machina. But I heard Nex Machina is insanely difficult, like even more difficult than their other ones. Like
yeah, well, that's the only reason why I didn't play that one.
Right.
And it wasn't because I don't think it's good. I'm not good at their games. Like I'm not good at Resogun. I'm not good at Super Stardust, stuff like that. So I just kind of avoid. Not because I don't want the challenge. I just don't think I'll be good at it and enjoy them as much. So for that one to be even harder, I was like,
it's overwhelming sometimes, yeah. But I mean, visually, God, you can see right there. It's just they're absolutely stunning games, especially the work they've done with voxels this generation. Just are like a treat for the eyes and sensory overload too. I know, like I talked about this many times, but playing Resogun, I swear I didn't blink, and by the end of like an hour session, I felt like I needed to shut my eyes for an hour and just go to sleep because I was exhausted visually from watching everything go on screen.
I believe it.
But this is really a bummer. And what would you guys like to see them do potentially though? Knowing that they're coming from arcade, like what's a good fit for somebody coming from arcade?
Probably Like, I want to see more Flash, and I want to have that visual treat, you know? So if I had to say something, probably a MOBA. So I
Yeah.
can see them do something, and like in an arena, they have their little space where they can create whatever art they can do while pitting me against someone and making it look pretty while I beat you in something, you know?
And that goes along with the multiplayer,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh,
direction.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
was
that
actually
they're talking
thinking
about.
something more like a top-down RPG, kind of like Diablo.
That's what I was
Maybe
thinking.
yeah,
a
that
little
would
bit
be
faster
cool.
pace, but given what they did with Alien Nation, and how good the RPG, the loot system was in that, and how much it diversified how you played, as well as how well they handle, multiplayer on the same screen, and even fast pace and, hordes of enemies coming at you. I think they can handle that space pretty damn well. So to go through and get a full story, like imagine if Alien Nation was a long, good story, but imagine that even more fleshed out than it was in a different style. I think that would have been a really cool experience.
Yeah.
I hope they actually at least consider.
I'm with you. I think, and you as well. Our RPG role-playing game, whether it be top-down or whatever, I just think is probably the best fit. And I think Diablo actually is a good one to bring up. I think that would be
I think that would be
a cool fit
perfect,
for them.
I have a little bit of a side note that I noticed. Wormcoat had said he thinks that the arcade industry is dying.
Oh, it definitely is.
I would disagree.
Really?
I've actually seen more arcades pop up. Just from where I lived
That's
in Houston, when I moved there was one, and when I moved away there were 5. Just with I think what it is
Are they like
is
barcades?
kind of, but
Yeah.
So that's more of
that's
a
where
pop culture thing, then.
Exactly, but that's where it starts. I think is that's what a lot of kids, or I guess adults, grew up on was the arcades.
Right.
Stranger Things, the call to the 80s, like this
Right,
call
and
to
that's
nostalgia
true.
and childhood is coming back, and I think with that, we're going to see this revival of
The type of arcades that will survive, though, are the types that only exist overseas. And so, for instance, I actually just was watching. And who didn't want? What's his name? Frick. That keeps doing all these gaming docs.
That's No Clip. No Clip.
Yeah.
Danny Dwyer.
Danny Dwyer.
Yeah.
I think he did one on the arcade scene, didn't he? Not that long.
I haven't
ago?
watched it yet. If he did,
I can't remember. There's somebody that did one on the arcade scene, and it was from somewhat recent. But anyway, it was showing these people who actually went overseas because the arcades are dying here in the States, and they're thriving, or at least not thriving, but they're at least certain select ones are doing very well. Because of the fighting circuit and similar ones like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would love for that to be true. I think the barcade is more of like a pop culture thing. I think it's going to be a fad that will eventually die out,
So
or it
this
won't
is-
thrive as hard.
This is
but-
one of the arcades. It's like legitimately an arcade. It was called the Game Preserve Classic Arcade.
like not just a barcade.
It was,
it's
yeah,
like
I
a
don't
legitimate
even think
arcade.
there was a food and it served.
Yeah, sure.
But it wasn't like it's not not like Main Event, not like Dave and Buster's, not that. I mean, classic arcade games.
Yeah. I mean, personally,
Classic
I think it would be
arcade style.
pretty cool to see one like the one that you saw in Stranger Things with like the arcade rotating sign and all that. Like that's cool.
Yeah.
And I feel
Like if I saw that, I would want to go.
and
there.
I feel like, but it'll start with pop culture. This revival of the 80s and 90s. I mean, chokers are in again. 90s.
Are they really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they really are.
Danny's
Chokers-
obsessed- Danny's
chokers
obsessed
are
with
in.
them.
It just
I
happened
But she
overnight.
I
wears
love
almost all
them.
the
I've
time.
always loved them. I just wish they were
Us,
like
Daniel.
not uncool.
Yeah.
Now they're cool, so I will wear one. So 90s are coming back, 80s are coming back. It's that revival of like childhood nostalgia where you would get up at 7 a.m. and watch cartoons, and you would spend all day with your friends at the arcade. And I feel like it's coming back, and with that is going to come maybe not an exact 80s kind of replica, but a revival of it and kind of an adaptation of that in today's times. I feel like we are going to see more arcade stuff.
You're right, because you know what I've been finding in New York? Pinball arcades.
Oh yeah.
A lot of them, out of nowhere, just like popping up.
They just pop up.
Yeah, like it's a whole, like the first one was a secret. It was actually pretty cool. It was a laundromat, and then you have to like go into this bathroom, you flush the toilet, and the freaking wall opens.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Serious?
and it was supposed to be like a speakeasy bar, but somebody converted it into just a pinball arcade. So it was just nothing but pinballs, and it was just really fun. And even when I was in Poland, they had this huge pinball museum type thing would have like the history of pinballs, and it was packed.
It's just this
All
quiet
college
revival
kids,
of...
and it was fun though. But like I never really got to experience that in the 80s, so it's fun for me to actually go up to a physical pinball machine and start playing, and it's actually really fun. You know, it's all these like lights and colors and sounds, and your score starts racking up, and it's really making a comeback.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I have to say, yeah.
Today I learned that Joe went to Poland.
Oh, I did.
You didn't know that?
But continuing on,
Yeah.
I feel
with
like today I learned you go flush the toilet and have your door open.
so continuing on with our
So
conversation.
rude.
Continuing on with our conversation about today's trends in multiplayer, and I touched on this very briefly, but Sony has stated that monthly active users are becoming more important. DualShockers writes that, quote, there are mitigating factors to the effect of the console cycle on revenue. The business model used to be a business-to-business royalty-based model, but now it has shifted to a direct sales to consumer. Hardware sales are still important, but the number of monthly active users is getting more relevant alongside PlayStation Plus subscribers and how much time they spend on Sony services and consoles. Therefore, according to Yoshida-san, the axis is shifting from hardware to user base. On microtransactions, Yoshida said, quote, we also hear that third-party sales of in-game items and content is very significant for Sony as well. On the first-party side, compared to other companies, the proportion for Sony of an in-game sales is still relatively low, but under Kodera-san's leadership, there will be, quote, appropriate exploration and decisions taken in the future.
Kodera is the guy who's replacing Andy House.
And now they made me sad again, because I forgot that was happening.
Yeah, right. Here's the thing, like... I get it. It's like they can't ignore that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's clearly important. They need to start looking at monthly active users. I'm not too concerned about it when it comes to Sony because you can see their next year and even their next 2 years, and there's just so many of the kind of games I want to see out of them that I'm not yet concerned at all.
Before his reign, though, and I'm afraid that this is, especially from the wording in this at the end, that Kodera is going to bring in cocky Sony again. And we're going to get the Sony that's really out of touch with what the real gamer really wants and is going to try to lean more towards the business side of it.
I mean, Andrew House did that too. Well, it's not like he didn't look at the business side. They all do. I just think that the question is if there's a balance, you know. And I have no reason to believe Kodera won't know that balance.
But
because it's
under his leadership, there will be, quote, appropriate exploration and decisions taken in the future. They didn't say anything about Andrew House has started this. This isn't anything new either. Focusing on monthly active users or anything like that is nothing new. It's just new to the consumer side. It's something new that people like us.
This is something they need to say for stockholders. Like they can't ignore these kind of things.
I guess
if they don't say these kind of things, then stockholders are going to be asking, like, why are you not responding to games like this, like that are games as a service, that are making bank? Like you should be bringing in that kind of stuff. Doesn't mean they need to start ignoring or pushing aside what they already have. They just need to start bringing in more games as a service or start focusing more on monthly active users and all of that. Thank you for the follow. So that's all. I don't know. I'm not ready to like jump the gun on them. Is all I'm saying. Like I think we need to wait and see what happens in the next year or two with Sony. The other guys, I feel like I have more reason to be concerned because they've already kind of shown that path to us, and Nintendo less so, but like Microsoft, I should say, and AAA developers, some of the AAA guys. Moving on, Kelly,
get out of here.
You're up in the next story.
So EA Financials reveals major shift to digital sales in the UK. GamesIndustry.biz writes that confidential digital data shown to GamesIndustry.biz reveals that the digital to physical split on some AAA console games now exceed 45% in the UK. Last year, the split was estimated at between 15 and 25% depending on the game. That's a big jump.
Yeah, it's a very big jump, yeah.
GfK data, which only counts physical sales, showed that some recent games have sold below their predecessors. Titles such as Destiny 2, FIFA 18, Wolfenstein 2, The Evil Within 2, Forza Motorsport 7, and Assassin's Creed Origins. However, according to the data shown to us, some of these games were actually up over their previous titles due to the significant increase in downloading. Which I feel like, people look at physical copy sales and they think, oh, it's gone down, but
I called that, remember?
It has not.
Yeah. I called that. I remember when we were talking about Destiny 2, and I said, like, the sales numbers are lowered, and I said, I think that if you take into account digital, I bet it's a different story.
Or about the same,
I had no idea it was going to be this much digital, so we'll get to that in a second here, but I had a feeling it was going to be a lot digital.
Yeah. So EA's financials this week show that 36% of their PS4 and Xbox One sales are digital on a global basis, and that includes territories with lower broadband penetration. Last year that number was 30%. The firm says that 25% of FIFA's 18 sales have been digital after 3 weeks, whereas FIFA 17's number was just 16%. Madden's download share is also up 9% to 34% of total shares. That's an insane jump. Activision also confirmed that Destiny 2 sales are over 50% digital, and that it is ahead of Destiny 1 sales following the PC launch within the same time frame.
Over 50% it happened.
That
More
is a
people got
massive
Destiny
jump.
digitally than they did physically.
And that was the weird one that went backwards.
Yeah, see, I would feel like if you're unsure about it,
That's the
you
reason
get
why I went
physical.
backwards.
Yeah,
That's the only
so you
reason.
can
Otherwise, I
return it.
would have gotten it digital. Because I got digital again for the first one, and I was very happy because every time I wanted to come back, I just had to re-download it.
Right.
You know, whereas this one, I was like, there is a chance that this is going to be shit, and I'm going to want to sell it.
And that's also one of the reasons you made that bet, because you're like, a lot of people are getting these and they're going to sell it back and get it again. No, a lot of people already got it digitally, so they're not selling it back. They're stuck with it on
crazy.
PS4 or Xbox One. So, yeah, digital is taking over.
Totally surprised me. But Andrew is putting a poll in the chat.
Yes,
for
I am.
What percentage of the time
Don't
do
tell
you
him to
buy
be Kelly.
games digitally? 0 to 10%, 11 to 25%, 26 to 40%, 41 to 60%, 61 to 80%, or 81 to 100%.
What about you guys?
I would say I'm typically a physical copy kind of person so that I can sell it back. But I know, and speaking strictly from Xbox, games with gold I will download. So I'm gonna say like anywhere between 25 to 35% of the time.
I'm probably up there at 80 to 100. Not quite 100, but I'm
you know
up
what?
there.
I forgot about Steam. All right, if I take into account Steam, it's more like 61 to 80%.
If I didn't get a discount on physical titles at launch, then I would probably be far closer to the 41 to 60%, possibly even the 61 to 80. But because of that, I'm probably closer to the 11 to 25%.
Are you really that low? Wow.
Yeah, I am. You can ask Danielle lately.
Never buys digital.
Yeah,
that's because
and
you are like really big with selling games.
That too. I mean, that's a part of it, but honestly, it's actually just because I haven't paid over $50 for a new game in 3 years.
Jeez.
I don't have to. There's no reason for me to. It doesn't make sense. I'll get 20%.
Johnny, I'm
off
with
of
you.
it.
I'm lazy too.
And you can see by the chat though so far, if you look at 41 to 60, which is getting to that point where it's 50-50, it's definitely more people buying digitally than not.
I buy
Over
digital
50%
codes
of
off
the
the
time.
mic so I can buy them digitally.
Yeah. So there's definitely a shift happening, and it's happening like very quickly right now.
Mhm.
In comparison to last year, the numbers really went up, as opposed to a lot of years where you saw it trickling up little by little, but then this year it was like it took a big step up.
Yeah.
So something
Wondering
happened.
what that shift is.
What do you mean?
Why suddenly? Why this year of all years is that flip happening?
Yeah, I don't know.
Ease.
Millennials are 17.
I mean, maybe it's just people are
Millennials
finally
are killing
realizing.
video game discs, guys. We're killing another thing.
They're 17, they have money to buy.
Well, I'm wondering if it has something to do with when it first came out. When it first came out, I was skeptical. I was like, digitally, like, what if your console breaks? What if you don't like it? But I think maybe, and especially with Steam has returns now. If you don't like it, you can return it.
If you're like 2 hours, right, or less.
It's you have to have a play time of under a certain amount of time, or have it purchased for less than. Although I returned a game that I hadn't played in like 6 months, and it was like, it's just not what I thought. I'm never gonna play it again. They're like, yeah, here's your $4 back. So with that kind of ease of that peace of mind of I'm not going to be blowing money on something I can't return, I'm more what's the word I'm looking for? Tempted or prone to buying games digitally, whereas 5 years ago, I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just people are kind of realizing like, oh, okay, there's not a lot of risk involved in buying something digitally anymore.
And it is getting to the point now where it used to be where physical was the way to go if you wanted the best sales and stuff like that. But digitally now, a lot of these stores
absolutely.
sales
G2A,
can be pretty crazy.
With Humble Bundle,
Yep.
I mean, you're just not going to match.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Joe, you got the final story in the level update.
Sweet. EA Access is making its way to other platforms.
Finally.
IGN writes, EA has revealed that its plans to expand its subscription services like Xbox One's EA Access and PC's Origin Access to other platforms, although it doesn't specify exactly what they be. CEO Andrew Wilson says, "Our subscription services like EA Access and Origin Access are bringing more players from across our network to join in. Our subscription player base continues to grow, and you should expect us to continue driving this model to more platforms going forward. The one thing that's often lost when we have this conversation is that unlike linear media, the subscription fee paid is not the total value of what a player might expend as they enjoy the games that they play inside of a subscription. And so we believe in long term, while it may take us some years to facilitate that at the kind of scale that we expect it to evolve to, in the same way that digital music and digital movies have evolved, the upside for the interactive entertainment industry is uncapped by virtue of the value of live services that are born inside of a subscription. We've been doing a lot of work on Origin Access and EA Access, and as Andrew mentioned, you'll most likely see those on other platforms, and you'll most likely see additional content coming into those subscriptions and some exciting things to come there. But we believe that that's a very important way for more consumers to enjoy more games over time at a very reasonable price."
Yeah, I remember when they first revealed this, it was Sony that legitimately just didn't want it. Remember, It wasn't that EA didn't want to put it on PlayStation; it was that Sony didn't want it on PlayStation. So I wonder if things have changed in there, or if the other platforms, as Johnny said, is Switch, and not PlayStation.
Well, no, I see. The only reason I wouldn't think that though is just because EA being like, we don't trust the Switch yet. Like,
that's
why
true.
would they bother with it if they don't trust it?
Yeah, that's true.
So I
Very
think
true.
it is going to be Sony. But
is Johnny yelling?
He was up there yelling, "I want digital media from consoles to be discounted like it is on Steam, then it would be 100% digital for me."
Yeah, that's true.
He's just trying to stay away.
Whenever I see someone do that now, though, I think of Andy Samberg in Parks and Rec.
Yeah, where you can't speak at a normal volume. Yeah.
Like, anytime I see caps lock, that's all I think of.
All right, that wraps up the level update, but we still have those tiny little news stories to get through in what we like to call Rapid Fire News Roundup.
Yes!
Wow, that was good. That was an impressive one. You went all out on that.
I went late. I was trying
Holding
to do
out
it,
for the kids.
and I was late.
Kelly was trying to shadow box with you.
It wasn't working.
Out for the kids.
I love
That's
lamb.
what she said.
Oh, man. Anyway, Rapid Fire News Roundup. Nintendo says there will be more fun ways to play with the Switch in 2018. What do you guys think this means? Does this mean more games, or does this mean that the Switch is going to change from a feature standpoint or something like that? Or is it just, there's more?
No more motion controls, Nintendo.
I think
the
they're
worst
gonna
part
throw
of
something
honesty.
in that's... I don't think they're going to change anything in terms of, like, physical controllers, like every time you touch the joystick it's actually backwards, nothing crazy, but I think they're going to introduce new ways to maybe play their games. Maybe, I mean, how many Joy-Cons can be hooked up to one device at the moment? Four. So maybe it'll be 8. Maybe it'll be you can link up the switches to make one big switch. I don't know.
One big switch, a mega switch.
A mega switch.
Mega switch.
Put 4
you,
together.
You combine them together like a big giant or like a Power Ranger Megazord.
Yeah.
And you just like this one combines into that one and this one slides over here.
Right.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing. Now I need this.
I think they're just gonna make it
Our
more ways
combined.
to play. I think they're gonna make it more dynamic.
Yeah, I don't think it means like it's gonna be like a huge change.
Yeah, I'm not expecting anything crazy because then at that point, just release a new console.
Really quick story here. World of Final Fantasy is actually coming to Steam. PlayStation exclusive for a while.
Still 40?
I don't know actually what they're going to price it at, but really good game.
I really wish I would like this. Like from what you said, it doesn't sound like I would find as much enjoyment out of it. But
it's turn-based, so.
Well, I like turn-based though.
Okay.
But I like the right kind of turn-based. I don't want ones that drag out for a long period of time. Like I want something that's going to keep me into it and keep go a little bit quicker.
Did you ever play My Sims on the Wii? That's what this reminds me of.
My Sims? No.
Yeah, it was you had these little characters that looked just like these guys.
Chibi.
Tiny heads and big old or tiny bodies and big old heads, and you had to build the little houses for them.
Really strong necks.
You had like a pizza guy, and you had to build him a little pizza shop. You had a girl who ran the flower shop. You had to build her a flower shop so you could build your little town together.
Like she didn't even
really
look
cute.
tired. She's just like, yeah, I got this big pterodactyl chin on my head. No
you
biggie.
never did Pterodactyl Andrew, did you?
No, I saw the Old Man Andrew.
Why don't you do the rest of these stories in Old Man Andrew?
The rest of them? I don't know about the rest of them.
Do a
I'll
couple
some
of
of them.
these.
Johnny Pool says it's the Office Mega Desk.
Alright, yeah, exactly.
Need more Mega Desk.
This is going to destroy my
With
voice.
your powers
which is already
combined,
going
I
away.
am Super Switch.
I love it.
Shadow of the Colossus remake will run at 60 frames per second
It always sounds like Splinter.
on PS4. And on top of that, Joey, there will be filter options and motion blur options, meaning the people that want that foggy bloom looking thing to go, oh my god!
You guys hold your back.
Oh my god! I really wish that happened closer to pulling out for the kids.
Holy shit!
What?
$2,000.
That was Ginkgo, wasn't it? It was Ginkgo.
No.
$2,000 from Anonymous. I'm
No,
not
it's
even.
gotta be Ginkgo. It's
I'm
gotta
not
be
even
Ginkgo.
joking.
No.
It's gotta be Ginkgo. It's gotta
No.
What? Like literally, look, I clipped it. If it'll ever load, go look at the last.
be. Oh man, did he do it again? Did you do it again, Ginkgo?
Another? Did he do that last
Did I
year?
clip it? Look at it.
Anonymous.
$2,000.
It's
What
gotta
the
be him,
hell?
man. It's gotta be him. Oh my god, Ginkgo, was that you, man?
Dude.
Wait, Ginkgo, if that was you, did you use PayPal?
Yeah, right, because his went through.
Because his went through and it was $2,000.
Holy crap.
So we're
Holy
over $4,000.
Oh my god.
Wait, so we made our
shit.
We did, we made our
we
goal.
made our goal.
Just like that.
Guys,
made
if
our
we
goal.
can raise $1,000, Drew's eating a ghost pepper.
That is true.
I get my tattoo! Oh my god! That deserves like 10 wheel spins.
That's a lot of wheel spins.
Oh my
so
god.
many wheel spins, but oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the amount of money that happened to realize.
Oh
my god,
so much. Ginkgo just
Ginkgo.
it is Ginkgo. He said, "Yep, PayPal."
You are amazing.
Oh my god,
Dude,
$2,000 to Extra Life from Ginkgo.
Oh my god, dude.
Insane, man. How do you do it
Thank
every
you.
year? That's just amazing.
I think he's
He
the real
does.
drug
Gotta be
kingpin of
still.
the
All
Northeast.
year just
Yeah, no, he
Yeah.
does. That's what he said this before, and that's what he does. But that's like, no, I'm just saying, like he said this before, and it's insane.
Rip
but
Drew's
it's just like-
back. What would you do for 2K?
Tobes, which volume do you want me to lower? Are we talking about our mics? Are we talking about the computer volume? Like which volume are we talking about? Just to
Oh,
make
man.
sure I know what you're talking about.
I think our mics are too loud. We are constantly almost maxing out. Look at this. Hold on, I'm not the loudest for some reason.
Oh, I'm absolutely the loudest.
Right, Kelly's is the loudest.
That's why yours isn't.
I'm very
Dude, that
loud.
was like so many emotions.
We're
at once. I was-
almost always peaking out at the top.
Old Man Andrew was super disturbing just now, and followed by a $2,000
Right? Like, I don't know if
donation.
you
That was such
That
like
was
a
roller
rush of
coaster.
adrenaline.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
Yeah, was crashing a little bit.
legitimately-
I was just
Are we
breaking
still
my
doing a
back.
wheel spin for every 100?
Yes, we are.
We have to do 20 wheel spins.
Oh, that yeah,
Wow.
we do need to turn down. That's what he was talking about. He was talking about Kristen. Okay, that is what he's talking
Oh.
about. Turn the volume down. That's what he's talking about.
Oh.
You're 100% correct. We do need to keep it down a little bit.
But that was $2,000.
That was $2,000.
Wow.
Yeah, like oh my, come on. Like, how do you not freak out when someone donates $2,000 to Extra Life?
We'll explain it to her in the morning. We'll make her.
I'm sorry, Kristen. Sorry.
We'll make her bacon French toast.
Oh my god.
That sounds
Okay, so
amazing.
we've got so much to do. We're gonna have to wait
Alright.
until after the show's done, and
I'm gonna
the
write it
rest
down
of the
so I
night is just gonna
remember.
be trying to
Thin
catch up
white
at this
bread.
point.
So we have 20
Thin
normal wheel
as well.
spins.
Press it.
No, I'm
then
sorry.
over the cooked
20
bacon.
milestone wheel
And then
spins
Yeah.
put in the egg and cook it
for...
like bacon.
Which means I need to start adding back
Sounds amazing.
all
You're
those
welcome.
games probably. Which I removed already.
I can go through the list of what we
Yeah.
haven't given away.
Oh, there's only so much you can do from the chair.
That was Jameis. I missed how much it was.
50.
$50. Another
Wow.
big donation there.
Holy moly.
They're coming in now, guys. It
It's
took until
happening.
it took until the morning,
Moly.
but it happened.
Well, you figure if people are on the West Coast.
You know what's even worse though? If I have to do this pepper after like my throat's already getting raw.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about this.
Like this is not good. This is not
Oh
good,
my
guys.
gosh. Okay, so what milestones did we hit?
And
so
we're still
we
5,000
hit-
away.
We have to do like all of them,
or
pretty
6,000
much.
like
Oh
from
no,
Shaving My
we
Beard.
hit
We're okay.
4,000.
What does that
What?
mean?
I have to sing.
Oh no.
We can do the jam session.
We
as
can do
said.
jam session,
We'll do the
okay.
jam session. We'll all play together and sing together.
So Joe needs to dye his hair. I get my tattoo, and you get your chest waxed.
Oh my god!
Oh no!
I forgot all about that.
I did too. I'm so
so
excited.
Guys,
Yeah.
I want to put this out there. Kristen gave us a volume limit.
Oh, you mean you're gonna?
Are you
scream?
gonna stream?
I mean, the
Bite a
last
bell.
time
You
I
can
did
control
it,
yourself.
Bite a bell.
groaned
The problem is, I need to
loud.
go like get the trimmer. I need to go get the wax. It's gonna be tricky, man. I'm gonna have to stay
Oh my
stay very quiet
Just
up
get
there.
like a towel.
I'm gonna have to,
Just have you bite down on it or something.
You can do it outside.
Oh yeah, we have to refresh our goal.
Oh man, that goal went way up. Actually, that's
Yeah.
100% now. Just like that, I think that. Well,
Well,
the
technically-
450 from Tope, or not Tope, from Guitar Freak
Guitar
didn't
Freak.
come through, so we won't say 100%, but it is at 100% technically. Let's refresh that so we can show us up at like 80 or more now. Thank you, God, thank you so much.
Ginkgo, literally, you're
You
amazing.
have like that traumatic look.
You
on
saved
your
the
face,
day,
like,
Ginkgo. You
I-
saved the
for you,
day.
man.
Look at
Man,
that.
slapped
We jumped
and
from
waxed.
35
Yeah,
to
dude,
91%
35 to
in one
91.
donation.
Just like
Shave
that.
your head.
I do.
Oh yeah.
Kristen's gonna wake up with me having a
Holy
buzzed head. Oh my
Who's
god.
gonna do it?
Wait,
Who's
no.
gonna do it?
Yeah, it is. It is.
You can
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, 3,500
Yeah.
was my buzzed head.
Who's
Yeah,
gonna do
it's-
it? I can do it. I've cut hair before.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah,
can
Mike,
do it.
well, Mike just did it himself.
Yeah, I did it last night.
Like I said, I'm telling you right now, it's got to be a 2.
It's gotta be a 1.
No,
Come on, it's gotta be.
I'm
at
not
least
doing a
worth
1.
it.
I'm telling you right now, I'm not doing a 1.
Don't make
It's gotta
fun
grow
of him
back.
at work.
Huh?
Don't make fun of him at work.
No, it's not that. It's just got. Kristen just wants it to be a good length for Disney World. That's all.
Isn't Disney World in December?
Yeah, so she wants like a full month, like an inch to grow back, like it to be like a normal length.
I don't even know what
See,
to
Mike's
do with
not
myself
allowed
at
to
this
shave his beard
point.
if you ever get married. Like, he's got to keep it. So I'd be pissed.
Really?
Your beard. Yeah.
See,
no,
I told you. I
want it.
wasn't saying it wasn't just me.
Like, that's what he
Tobes,
looks like.
the girls are
Why would I
taking
make him
over.
shave it?
It's only looked like that for like the last year though.
I know.
Purple Bowl,
Thank you,
thank you for
Purple
the
Bowl.
sub.
Thank you for the sub. Okay, so we got. Let's should we just like finish the level up
Let's
show?
finish the show, and
Yeah,
then
let's get
I'm
through the
writing
show.
all
How
of this
much longer
down.
is the show itself?
Not that much
We're, like,
longer,
halfway
actually.
over?
We're like rapid fire, then we're
More
gonna go
than
through the
that,
Paris
yeah.
Games Week trailers, and that'll be about it. All right, so
Most
as
of
I
the
was
time the
doing,
show
old man
runs
Andrew.
long
Who
because
did
we
the
have, like,
50?
an hour
That was
worth
Jameis.
of
Jameis.
Dirty Habanero. Okay,
introductions.
so as I was saying, with Shadow of the Colossus, what's cool is some people were complaining that it was like too colorful and all this and all that. So the filters, I imagine, are going to allow people to turn on like the bloom and the fogginess and really make it look like
Yeah, do
old
it.
school Shadow of the Colossus. So that's cool that they're at least offering those options. Hold on, cancel.
It smells good.
After that,
I'm so excited.
Horizon: The Frozen Wilds will offer 15 hours of content.
Wow.
This DLC pack coming out, and that means also better motion capture and a brand new skill tree
Sounds good.
for Horizon Zero Dawn. You hear that, Mike?
What?
15 hours of content in
That's
this
a lot
Horizon
for
Zero,
DLC.
Zero Dawn.
You know what? I
DLC.
saw that. That's insane.
It's a lot.
dude. I don't know what to make of it. I didn't expect it. I mean, I knew it was going to be big, but I didn't know it was going to be that big. That said, they said 15 hours worth of content, not story. I don't think it's going to be anything more than maybe 4 hours of story.
Yeah.
And then like all the extra stuff that you may or may not have already done in the last one. But that's still an impressive amount. I think
Yeah.
we're going to get a much bigger world, a much bigger play area than I anticipated.
Yeah, that's a meaty DLC. That's really awesome. After that, Dreams. Very surprised a lot of people that it wasn't at Paris Games. We consider they are Media Molecule European studio.
Not nearly as bad as most other games.
And I think the fear caused them to come out on Twitter
You know what I mean?
and say,
What
hey
is
guys,
Dream? I actually
Dreams is still happening. Dreams is still in development. We're
We'll
really
see you at
excited to
PSX.
show you guys more. So I would
This
think
is
PSX
more?
probably.
Yeah, I
so
can't imagine they wouldn't. If they don't show at PSX,
It's on the screen right now.
there are issues. Like, there are serious issues. They don't. The only thing that I can see them showing at would be GDC.
It looks pretty.
That's it. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to bother anymore.
It's a game where you create the worlds,
Okay.
kind of like Little
So
Big
this
Planet
was
and all that.
all
Oh,
created.
okay.
Like, I mean, obviously it was created by a dev, but with the tools that they give you to create stuff.
That's
And the reason it's
cool.
called Dreams is because it doesn't have to be even a playable thing. You could just kind of create this surreal experience, like a dreamlike experience for somebody to just go through and experience themselves. A lot of people think that they've been retooling it for PlayStation VR for the longest time now, because it does make a ton of sense as a PSVR title. So, still in development. I'm very glad to hear that. Hopefully we see more at PSX. After that, Super Mario Odyssey is the fastest selling Mario game of all
I
time.
saw that. That's crazy.
For the same time period, you know,
Right.
obviously for the first month or whatever it's been. Not even. So that's awesome news. That is both in the US and the UK. And also obviously reviewed
If
incredibly
Mario
well.
64 didn't come with the system, I wonder how well it would have done.
Mario 64 didn't come with the system. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how Mario 64 did, period, honestly.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it did well. PlayStation Plus and Games with Gold have been revealed. For PS Plus, you guys are going to be getting Worms Battleground. You're
Awesome,
also
but
going to be
already-
getting Bound, Until Dawn Rush of Blood, which
For
is
VR.
PSVR required. That's you again.
Stop it.
They just want they're throwing
Stop
it
it.
at you on PlayLink. That's you, PS Plus bonus PlayLink. R-Type Dimensions on PS3, Ragdoll Kung Fu, Fists of Plastic on PS3, Dungeon Punks on PS Vita and PS4, and finally Broken Sword 5, The Serpent's Curse, Episode 1 and 2. This is probably one of the most lacking months in quite a while
recent
for a
times,
lot
yes.
of people, just because it has gone away from the AAA stuff that they've been doing recently. But still, Bound, I'm really excited about. I wanted to get that and just kind of held off on it, and now I get it for free, so that's really cool. On Games with Gold, you're going to be getting Trackmania Turbo on Xbox One, Tales from the Borderlands the entire season on Xbox One, Nights into Dreams on Xbox 360, and Deadfall Adventure on Xbox 360. Of course, we have a poll for
Pretty
you
decent
guys.
month for them. I'm actually
Okay.
jealous of the Trackmania Turbo. The Trackmania Turbo.
Yeah, that looks cool. That's Ubisoft, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool. So, guys, what is your most anticipated PS4 or Xbox One offering for the month of November?
Worms
Let us know.
Battlegrounds is great. I love Worms games, but
I've heard
I
Worms
bought
is
it.
good. I just don't think I could ever sit through it.
It's fun. I used to play a lot of it with Pat.
Mm-hmm.
I still play it, but it's not nearly as fun unless you play with somebody that A, wants to play, and B, knows how to play.
Right. Here's Bound on screen. Warm Code in chat says he bought it when it came out, and it's good. Yeah, Sony Santa Monica. And you play like a ballerina.
remember this
Very, very pretty looking game. So.
Oh, I do remember this.
I
Never
remember
mind.
seeing this like a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it's safe to say that Ginkgo won top donor of the hour?
I think
Yes,
it's
I would say that's safe
award
to
top
say.
donator of the day.
I can't beat that.
57 people in the room now,
Yeah,
too.
do not.
Hopefully you guys shared that link.
can't.
Shared that clip of us going nuts to that huge donation. Share the show, guys. Share clips of that. Amazing
I don't
moment from
think I can beat that.
Ginkgo
I don't
Swag.
want to see you try.
I said I couldn't. Like, it was just a joke.
I know, I'm just saying, like...
I like Danielle. It was just a joke. Go away.
Just a few more stories here. BlizzCon 2017 happened. Moira announced as the next Overwatch character. Healer,
Pretty
right?
awesome.
No
Yeah.
idea.
Oh, no idea. Healer?
Yeah, it's a healer. She's an evil healer, actually.
Oh. What does she do?
It's so she does. She's basically
How does she
shoots
heal?
out. She shoots out a beam. Yellow beam. You know, main fire is heal, and alt fire is take away. So she can either heal her allies or take away from her enemies. She shoots out a ball for one of her alt specials. It will ricochet off and kind of electrocutes you as it gets close and it hits you and it can kill you. Her second special, do you remember what her second special is?
I was just trying to remember it.
Oh, was it Shift? Can she phase kind of like
I don't remember.
Reaper does, I think. But her ult shoots out this giant beam. Did you ever play Marvel vs. Capcom games? I was gonna say it's like Cyclops' giant beam for his ult, but it basically shoots out this giant beam. So if her normal ult is this big, it's basically her big ult is the size of the couch.
Right.
But it both heals and hurts at the same time depending on who it's hitting. So if you
Like
are,
on this grenade.
Right. So if it's this row right here, we're all fighting each other, and Drew's bad, I'm good, Joe's good, and you're bad, it's gonna heal us while it hurts you. So it's gonna change things up a lot the way it looks.
I was actually
mean,
because that was what my next prediction for the next Overwatch character
Oh,
was
she
was
does.
one that would be a healer, two
Yeah.
that it wouldn't be another good guy because all people we have
all
right
the
now
healers
are
are
good
all
guys,
good.
and three
Well,
that it
but
would be
that's
someone
Symmetra.
who steals life force.
Right.
Although my prediction was more that it would steal.
I thought she was
life
going to be more of a
force.
vampire from
That
what they
kind of
at
the
the beginning
same-
of the trailer, but I don't think she is. They might very well change that.
Well,
to
see,
be
my
what it is,
thinking
but
is, first of all, I don't know how the hell Angela Mercy heals, but I thought like it would be kind of cool. It'd be a cool dynamic to, in order to heal your teammates, you have to take life force from the enemy and kind of
then
fill a
use it as
reservoir.
a right, exactly. Yep.
So I kind of like that they went
That's
that
kinda cool.
direction, but I was kind of hoping for more of a strategic. You have to actually take life force. And
Yeah.
you
They also have
to
a
be
new
that
map
DPS.
called Blizzard World, and it's
Oh.
basically like a Blizzard themed amusement park. So there's a section that's a nod to Hearthstone, a section that's a nod to World of Warcraft, one that's StarCraft, Diablo, so on and so on. And it's set up like an amusement park with a roller coaster in the background and stuff like that. It's really cool looking. So they had a lot of good announcements. And also on top of that, they announced World of Warcraft Classic.
Yep, classic servers coming back. A lot of
What?
people really excited about that.
I did not know this.
Like
Yep,
this guy.
original World of Warcraft coming back.
That's amazing.
That is amazing for a lot of people. I've seen people going nuts over this story.
Because they had a, what do you call it? They had a private server that played like classic World of Warcraft, and it got shut down, and it pissed off so many people. It was so disappointing. And so this is great news.
Yep. And lastly, finally, PlayStation has added an update that allows rewards for trophies. Finally, something people have been waiting for a very long time. Actually, so much so that it allows you to have monetary gain from earning trophies. Like you
Really?
actually get $10 for every 10 platinums that you earn.
Really?
Yeah. So
Towards a game or like a check in the mail?
it's a $10 PSN card.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
alright.
what I thought.
They've been really trying to push their point system, and to I don't know if it's to no avail, but to I think less success than they've wanted. And I think this was kind of like almost a last ditch effort for them to get people to use Sony Rewards, because what you're doing is actually earning the Sony Rewards points, which you've earned for purchases already if you signed up for an account. But I don't think remember I said something about it not that long ago, and I think you, Dean, everybody went on there and were like, "Crap! I could get a PSN card from the reward points from buying other stuff."
I actually got
like
3.
all of us
Yeah.
at the same time decided to go on because I remembered to go and check it. So I don't think as many people, again, current active users. I don't think enough people are consistently checking in to see these reward points. So this is another thing to get them to use the site, so it's a viable output for them.
And that is it. Those are all the tiny stories from this past week. We do have our On the Spot. This is our community-focused segment of the show. Sorry, Mike, I took that away from you.
On the pots.
There you go.
On Sapapsa.
Lower the volume, Mike. Lower the volume.
Ooh, lower the volume.
Dick, you Mike. Guys, every week you can go on our Discord at discord.gg/the Level Up Network and go to our On the Spot channel where you can ask us a hard-hitting question and it'll be featured live on the show here. This week's question comes from... Did the Level Up Show? What game series has changed most from the first game to now? And were the changes good or bad? Why or why not? That was Seto Apprentice.
Easy answer. Mario.
Mario
Changed the
has
most.
changed a lot.
It
It's
absolutely
just
Always
from, like, thing to
changes.
thing. You know what game actually changed a lot in one game, but it's kind of old Jak and Daxter.
Yeah.
That was like the most dramatic.
From Jak
Yeah.
1 to Jak 2, that was a
It just got
huge
violent
change.
really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It became
But I loved
GTA
it.
in one game. Went from just like a normal action platformer to a GTA game. It was like
Yeah.
such a bizarre jump, yeah. So much so that I think a lot of people were down on it. I liked it a lot,
I
but
loved it.
I understood like the change in theme and vibe was a little too much for people. Like they just wanted more Jak and Daxter.
Yeah.
They didn't want him having a gun suddenly and talking and like it just was everything changed like all at once. So yeah, I agree with that.
And it's funny that they planned that, because at the end
Yeah.
of Jak and Daxter 1, if you collected all the the orbs, you would get like that secret cutscene where they would show I guess a time machine,
Right.
Some machine where they
More like a dimensional thing,
yeah,
right?
it's there, so they knew that's where he was gonna go. So
Right.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree with that. Very good one.
Sonic.
Sonic, huh?
Yeah,
Sonic. Sonic has like barely changed at all. I feel.
Oh my fucking god! Don't even start with me right now. Are you kidding me? Are,
Did
you
we
trying to be a
are we
troll?
talking about the same game right now? Like Sonic, whatever that game that just came out is just Sonic
No,
all
and
over
that was
again.
what was so unique and special about it, because every other game is drastically different from any other Sonic game that came out in the first 5 years. For the love of fucking God, do not do this to me. Sonic 1, 2, 3, Knuckles were completely different than Sonic Adventure or anything else. Heck, even Sonic 3D was different than anything else that
See, I feel like that was just a generational jump. That was just a conversion from 2D to 3D.
Going to the
that
3D
they all
was-
everything went
But
through.
again, it's still changed. It's still changed, and it's still different than what it is. Saying that's okay. Same thing with Mario. Mario is the same game. It just went 3D. It's not nearly at all the same. Sonic went 3D. And Sonic went really weird with Sonic, like all these other fucking spin-offs that they have.
Like Sonic Heroes,
Shadow.
that was probably the weirdest one.
Right.
Like Sonic Heroes and Shadow the Hedgehog was like two totally different things. Like he had a gun, a motorcycle.
Yeah, but Shadow the Hedgehog
Even-
isn't Sonic.
Even
Yeah,
the ones
no.
where now they keep putting you behind the camera for Sonic. Like I don't want to
Yeah.
see Sonic's ass
Warm coat
running.
says you're reaching.
You
Mike.
don't
How
want to see
am I
Sonic's ass?
reaching?
That's beautiful.
I don't
That's like
understand
the
this.
opposite of the
Unless he's
entire
trying to
internet.
troll, I don't understand how you wouldn't see that. Sonic has changed dramatically, and I'm not saying it's the most. I'm saying that's one of them that is.
Well, that's all I'm saying. Is, like, I don't
huge.
think it's one that should be like mentioned here. I think it's changed in the same way that
What?
any game that converted
I
from
think
2D
it's
to 3D
changed,
and like
Bull
grew with the times.
fucking shit.
Like once the games went 3D, they kind of struggled to figure out how do we make a Sonic game in
Right.
3D and have it be good.
And
they
that's
haven't
exactly
worked
what it
on
is.
that, you
The
know?
formula has
That's
changed.
how you make it
You
good.
should.
You should.
That's the only reason I played Sonic as a kid was to see Sonic's butt. So.
I mean, Sonic Generations was pretty close. I like that game.
Sonic Generation
Yeah.
was good. It was a nod back because it went 3D and old
And then
school at the
2D,
same
yeah.
time, and that's why this one was so different and so well loved by so many different people. But Sonic Adventure, any of those has changed it dramatically.
All right.
Final Fantasy is a game that has just advanced in this is how you display a Final Fantasy game.
I think the one time
With
it
the
got
exception
weird
of
was
like
12.
3, and then obviously 14 and 11.
Yeah.
You know, every other version of Final Fantasy has been pretty similar. Without, you know,
I
like
think
said,
what's really cool
13
about Final Fantasy is that somehow they always find a way, following like I feel like 7, 8, 9, which were all ATB. Ever since then, it's always been a completely different battle system.
Yeah.
And they always find a way to do something new. When it comes to everything else, like it's always the same mythos and the same, it feels like you're in the same universe. But I do think it's pretty cool that they're somehow finding a way to keep changing up the battle system in cool ways. Yeah.
I just see Johnny's comment now. Kind of funny as a prize wheel now. Something fishy about that.
Yeah, come on. Final Fantasy 15 is a perfect example. Like, what a
Goodbye.
drastic change that
Ginkgo Swag
was
is
for
going
Final
to
Fantasy.
sleep,
Goodbye,
dude.
Ginkgo Swag.
Man, wow.
Ginkgo,
Thank you.
You are the man. Thank
So
you
much.
so much.
you saved us,
for
man.
causing me so much pain.
You helped us get to our goal. Thank you so much.
Literally mind blowing.
Mind blowing. Insane, man. Sad you couldn't be here, but
Yeah.
you are here in spirit, man.
Oh man.
Thank you so much. We appreciate everything you've done over the past, I think it's 3 years, right, that he's been a part of our Extra Life?
I think so.
I think 3 years, yeah.
That's awesome.
You're amazing, man. All right. What else? What other games have changed drastically?
D-Day says Metal Gear, but
Uh,
I think that the only dramatic change, I don't count Revengeance because that was this
Yeah.
side spin-off, but it really did between, I guess, what was the last game before 5? Guns of the Patriots before, and that was a big difference. Like, that was a crazy dramatic change from, like, this cinematic movie-type game that you didn't really have a lot of gameplay, but the gameplay was still fun, but it was mostly cutscenes,
Yeah.
to an open-world Metal Gear game.
That is
It
the
was
only one
weird.
where I can say there was like a huge jump,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was-
Call of
that
Duty
was
really
strange.
hasn't changed that much.
I was actually going to say that only for the sheer fact that the way that they tell their stories in single player and the way they handle any multiplayer is completely different than when it started.
Right.
World War II, that's what's so refreshing about World War II, is that it is a nod back because Infinite, I have for maybe a day. I think I played, if I remember, I think I looked at it, I think I played maybe a total of 11 matches online, and I was just like, nope, I was done. I just didn't want it. I bought it and I returned it in the same day. So I think that dramatically changed in a negative way. In a way, though, it was definitely a part of evolving, so it's not as fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to think of ones that have
Like
changed,
I was gonna say Mortal
not evolved
Kombat,
with
but
the
again, same
times.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just kind
Oh,
of more
Zelda's
evolved.
on that list now.
What is?
Zelda
yeah, no,
technically
yeah,
is on
Zelda
that
going
list.
from
Like,
like
you
a
go-
Pokemon
yeah.
The most
style
recent one,
top-down
yeah.
RPG
Yeah.
to like a not even an RPG, like an action. I don't even know what you would consider
I don't know. I
like
mean,
the
like,
first
Mhm.
Zelda game, but to Breath of the Wild now, like this completely open world.
I think for the
dynamic.
longest time, Zelda was like, it didn't really change that
yeah,
much, right?
The recipe was still the same. different
Yeah,
story, different
finally
place,
it
you
has
know?
changed.
And you don't even get items in this game. That's what freaks me out the most. Like, that was the thing that made Zelda Zelda. You go to the dungeon, you get the item you need to finish the dungeon, and then ultimately, progress in the game. There's no items in this. You get an arrow, shield, and a sword. And, like, that's it. And then the slate.
Stripe Girl, it was Ginkgo. Ginkgo donated $2,000, and that brought us up to the top 150 for Extra Life now.
Almost.
which is pretty amazing. So
That's awesome for
Plus, are we
us
the
four
ghost
little
pepper?
nobodies.
yeah, right. It is. It is awesome that we
Yep.
can even get close
Well,
to
and
that.
we also have people on our team like Kiko.
Yeah, you know, let's
raising
take a
money
look at our
and-
team total right now. We haven't checked that out in a while because a lot of people doing good work.
I wonder if that's why we were close to the top 150.
No, you're talking about individuals for 150.
Oh, really?
I wonder where our team is at.
Yeah, we can check right now. So our team is at 49.77.
We
We're
need
at
3
$5,000,
more
yeah.
dollars. to
We're
raise
at-
our-
Okay, so
Oh, no,
our team is very close to the top 150. Let's see our
Yeah, that's what I
individual.
was gonna say. I think I have a feeling.
Our individual is 102.
What?
Wow.
That's insane to me.
That is insane.
So
We
with
could
Guitar
be on the
Freak's
top
donation,
100.
we're probably in the top 100.
That's true. Yeah, I forgot all about that. You're right.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Guys, everybody that's
That
donated
doesn't
so
make sense
far,
to me though.
including
How
you
are
two.
individually?
and you.
How are we higher?
Thank
than
Because when you have
so
teams,
much.
like certain teams are crazy, like the Kind of Funny team,
I
for
forgot
instance,
for a
they're up to
second
like
that you donated.
$50,000 because
Sorry.
so many people are on the team. You know, but as an individual, we actually have a pretty high amount individually.
Boy, you totally are.
What about me? Did you
She
forget
does
about
not
me?
care.
What did you say?
I said she feels like I'm ignoring her, but I just forgot
Forgot what?
that you donated.
Oh, I didn't think you were ignoring me. I'm not that mean to you.
Oh, I thought you meant like that she existed.
Ginko Swag is the boss, 100%.
No, but that.
Like,
Well,
damn,
no,
that's
that's
so
not
weird.
true.
I
Yeah,
would like
yeah,
to
yeah.
transfer my title now to
And
Ginko. He can be the law.
And talking to the DJ at the same time.
So when I'm streaming.
All right, let's
Yes.
go through our final part of the show here, guys. We are going to talk about those Paris Games Week trailers really quick. Pretty much everything Paris Games Week was PlayStation. The
Yeah.
only thing I heard over Microsoft is that PUBG is coming on December 12th.
Yeah.
That's pretty much
Which
the
is
only
great.
thing. Yeah, it is great. It's great that they confirmed that it is happening.
Yeah.
They said it was, but now we have confirmation that the preview program, whatever you want to call it. Here was one of the surprises for me on screen right now. It's called Concrete Genie, and it's done by
didn't watch
Pixel
this, though,
Opus. And they are the ones that did Entwined. Do you remember Entwined?
Oh, okay. I saw you talking about like they went from Entwined to this.
Look at the
So, yeah, this is
jump.
huge.
Look at the artistic style of this game. It's,
Look at the ultra immersive rays. What was it that he called it? No, not in that conference. Like I think EA.
Oh right, yeah. And what's really cool
God
is so
rays.
you're this bullied kid who kind of tackles that by painting on the walls and bringing it to life. So it's kind of like Epic Mickey a little bit, where you control.
So that's where that came from. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if you can use the move with this. That would be pretty cool. But you can see like visually, it's spectacular. It's gorgeous visually. So I'm going to keep an eye on this one for sure. And I'm really happy to see Pixel Opus growing, and once again Sony taking somebody under their wings, as they've done with that game company, as they did with the Unfinished Swan developer. Why am I drawing a blank on their name? Somebody help me in the chat.
What?
Giant Squid.
Unfinished Swan.
Giant Squid? What is it? Say that again.
No, I just said Unfinished Swan.
Unfinished Swan. Is it Giant Squid that did that?
No, it was something with play, isn't it?
Giant Sparrow.
Giant Sparrow.
Giant Sparrow. That's what's really cool for me. I love that Sony does that, where it's like, we're going to do 3 games with you. We're going to help you grow as a developer. Started with that game company, then it went on to Giant Sparrow, and now it's Pixel Opus. You know, I just think that's so cool, and this game looks awesome, visually at the least. So that's really cool to see. I like that kind of stuff. So I'll be keeping an eye on that one. That's coming in 2018. Or sorry, I looked at the wrong one there. I'm not sure when that's coming. It is 2018, but I don't know if there's any specifics on that yet. Next up, let's see what's on the screen. I'll just kind of fast forward through all the trailers as they happen.
Every time that fan hits me, it's so refreshing.
That does
It
feel
feels
good.
so good. Just it's so still right now. The air is so like.
We talked about PlayLink earlier. Unfortunately, we didn't get to play Hidden Agenda, but it's cool to see that Sony is actually really like supporting PlayLink in a big way. That's you every single month on PS Plus, for instance.
Hey, notice this.
Yeah, they really want people to notice it. Hidden Agenda looks pretty damn cool. I would like to play that at some point. But this
Yeah.
game's called Erica, and this is, my God, old school like FMV games where you're just
Oh my
watching
God,
movies
yeah.
and guiding a story. But I think it's cool that, in a sense, like my mom could play this. You know, all she have to do is have
Yeah.
her phone and click on the phone, and she can play this interactive
it's
story. It's just kind of cool that there's the option, right? That
The graphics are so intense.
this is real. This is not graphics.
Oh,
No,
thank
this
God.
right here is
Are you sure? Like
fake.
it felt like it was.
No, it's all real. Like
well, I
FMVs.
feel like it might be mocap.
Like it had elements of both. or
No,
something.
no,
It had
it's
to.
footage.
Then what am I seeing? What was that thing? That's
No,
not,
yeah, it
you know
was
what
like
I mean?
it was like
The
I know
cigarette
exactly what you mean.
thing?
I don't
It
know,
was
there's
like
just something
fuzzy
that's,
and animated.
like blurry
Maybe there's some
motion
post processing
blur.
or something going on.
There's
but-
got to be
yeah.
some sort of post to make
Yeah.
it look like it was
Maybe.
animated.
Yeah.
It's all in the eyelashes. That's how you can tell if it's animated or not. It's all in the eyelashes. People they can't ever do the eyelashes. They're just these weird like black lines
Yeah.
around people's eyes. That's the stuff I look at.
Guacamelee 2.
Guacamelee 2. What a well-deserved
Guacamelee.
sequel.
I played a portion of it on Vita, but I'll be honest,
I
I,
played
never
it
I
got that
already love
far.
this because it involves food.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
I've
it's
never played
it's a
it.
Metroidvania style game, featuring
Featuring.
Featuring.
this really big buff luchador.
It's got a great graphical style, artistic
Yeah, I
style.
love it. It's really cool. I don't know how to explain it more than
There's some footage here. Here you
Metroidvania
go.
Luchador, yeah.
But I honestly never thought we would see a Guacamelee 2.
No, I had a feeling it was just a matter of time.
Yeah. But looks great, visually at the least. And from what I played out of the first game, I thought it was a lot of fun. I just didn't stick with it.
Yeah.
But another one to keep an eye on. It was cool. Like there was a lot of like small little titles at PGW for Sony. A lot of PSVR stuff, which I was
the way that
so
they're doing
surprised
the
by.
pre-show is definitely smart for things
Yeah.
like this.
See, at E3 I didn't like the pre-show. I actually
No.
thought it worked really well at Paris Games Week because I felt like what they announced at the pre-show felt like things that should be at the pre-show.
Right.
As opposed to where E3 I was like, that could have been definitely an E3
Made a
announcement.
big announcement.
You know, this one I felt like it was a lot of like smaller indie stuff that I'm like, I'm gonna keep an eye on that. And it kind of felt cool. Like it felt like it flowed into Paris Games Week's main conference in a way where it felt like a cohesive whole this time, as opposed to a pre-show and a main show. It all felt connected to me.
Yeah.
Everybody here seen the new Spider-Man trailer?
Yes.
Joe, you ever see it?
Did not
Got
see
it up on screen right now. First time we're seeing Peter Parker storyline stuff. What's kind of crazy though is it's not just Peter Parker that you control in this game. You actually control Mary Jane as well in certain parts. And Miles actually has a big part, as you can see there. But man, just wait
A
until
lot
you
of
see
hints towards possibilities, I feel like, in this.
like what.
Like the alternate version of Spider-Man with Miles, or
Mm-hmm.
alternate sex of Spider-Hero in Spider-Gwen.
Have they shown off Gwen Stacy yet at all?
No.
Not yet.
But I'm wondering if they go that route or if it's a
Right.
tease or something like that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I would imagine this is the start of a series for Insomniac and PlayStation with Spider-Man, which is so cool. But I can't wait. Here's I think where you get to the combat stuff. Like, just look at this, man.
That's
That
so good.
is so cool.
There's Mary Jane being controlled. There, it looks like
One thing I hope they don't do, I hate when games.
that looks insane.
I just want to be Spider-Man. Like in Spider-Man 2, we were just Spider-Man in the game, and then they just threw you out in the city, gave you a couple of tutorials, and then you just go. But I feel like a lot of games do this thing where you get that, but then there's also those parts of the game where you have to walk, and you have to walk through these, particular place, look at something, pick something up, trigger a cutscene, keep walking again. You can't sprint, you can't run, you have to walk. And
Yeah.
it just drives me crazy, and I really hope.
So that
I
makes you a
thought-
little nervous.
Yeah, I thought I saw something like that.
Yeah, there
I
definitely
wanna
are
see
some
that.
scripted set pieces in this.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw that in the E3 reveal. That was a very scripted set piece.
I mean, that's totally fine. I just want to see, give me point A to point B and let me trigger that cutscene and then show me whatever it is you want to show me. Don't force me to walk through your scene. And
Okay.
it annoys me. I don't have to
See, I think you're going to get more of that than you would wish for out of this game.
Yeah, I think you are
going to
too,
get-
Which is, I feel like it
I think
takes
it's going to
away
be
from what
a
I could be
decent
doing.
mix, but I think it's going to be a lot of story driven. Like,
Yeah.
listen, you're doing this.
And I don't want to see that because I feel
Okay.
like that's going to stop me from, enjoying it as much as I could. Like
Oh,
with
you don't want to
Spider-Man,
see it in the game, or
Yeah.
or you don't want to see it in the trailer?
I mean, well, both.
Oh,
'cause
okay.
I don't want to do that. I hate walking through when I don't have to do
Gotcha.
that. I'm Spider-Man. I should be swinging through the city right now, going from point A to point B. I understand that you want to throw in some story and give me a narrative. That's great, but just as long as just keep it short. Don't make me walk.
This
too
on
much.
screen right now looks badass, and it's really cool that it was at PGW because what this is a lot of the ex-MotorStorm devs.
Yep.
Coming together and I'm trying to think of
And they're
the
basically
developer's
like,
name.
we weren't
Codemasters. They're at Codemasters, and they're doing another crazy racing title
Yeah.
That's coming to PS4. I don't know if
this
it's
is
exclusive,
definitely
but
more my style if I'm going to get a racing game.
that looks awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's arcadey and just badass looking. Also,
You
after
too?
that, what?
I'm getting
No.
hungry.
Oh, you guys are getting hungry?
Yeah,
we can
because
figure
I would
something out.
typically be a
Well, we got
sleep
canned
by
food
now.
coming out.
Oh.
Yeah, not
That's-
hungry for that.
Yeah, what?
Not
Canned food.
hungry
We're
for
gonna
canned
have
Oh,
canned food very soon.
sweet.
And Bean Boozled Extreme.
No.
That too. That too.
Oh,
We have a lot to do, guys.
Oh,
We
have
may
a
have to give
lot
up one
to
of
do.
the hours to just catching up.
Yep, we might. Top 10, I think, is probably. Is there a
Oh,
top 10 in
easily.
there?
There is.
Yeah, we'll just get
there
rid of a
was.
top
We were
10.
already getting rid of it for this.
Yeah, we're getting rid of a top 10 for sure.
Worth it.
And oh no, we're gonna have to get rid of one of the horror games too.
No.
Nope, not
We're going to
budging on
find a
that
way to
one.
make that work.
Not budging on that.
Let's put this up big screen because this is our first footage of the opening to Shadow of the Colossus on PS4. And man, when you compare it to the original, it's mind blowing what the work they've put
And
in.
even just looking at it as a
There's a donation. It's not flashing, but
Why is
thank
it
you
not
so
flashing?
much. Who is that
15
for?
from Warm Coat.
I think 15. Is that what it says?
Yeah.
Thank you so
15
much,
from
Warm
Warm Coat.
Coat. Thank you so much for that donation.
awesome. Thank you.
I think I switched scenes right when you donated, so I messed up the strobe light.
I'll dance
Sure.
anyway. I'm dancing.
Just bad timing.
Yeah.
Thank you
Keep
so
going.
much, Warm Coat. Thank you so much, man. But
That's
yeah,
my
like
dance.
Good job. I like it.
Thank you.
a lot of people are a little down on this footage because it is from an artistic standpoint very different from what we're used to with Team Eco, which is this kind of gray, bloomy, like fogginess and all
Oh
this.
yeah, and this one actually seems to have more life to it. That sucks.
It's definitely more real life.
Oh, I'm being completely sarcastic because people need to take their head out their ass.
It's more colorful.
Man,
I'm
this
sure some
feels
people are
like
gonna
a
love
real immersive world that I want to be in all the time. I mean, look, the rain isn't just looking like it should come out of a sludge tank. Fuck, man,
Here's the
this
thing.
game is gonna suck.
As I said earlier, for the fans that do want
Can't
that,
tell what your actual feelings are.
yeah, who knows?
Like it's going to suck.
No, I think it's gonna be great, and
Oh.
people need to stop
People are
being
just
whiny
getting
little
down on
bitches
it.
that aren't just getting their way all the time.
The point is, they are releasing filters that will allow you to turn it into looking like the old school style. So
Congrats, guys.
they're appeasing everybody, which is
And you
great.
guys are the same people that swear that audio sounds better recorded on a 45. Guaranteed it.
So much sarcasm right now.
I'm so confused now. I don't know.
I just
don't
just
know your
can't.
feelings about anything.
All right, moving on. Let's get another trailer. That's Shadow of the Colossus. This is another. Here's a bunch of PSVR stuff. I'm trying to remember what this one was called. This was not O-Ray, right? That's not O-Ray.
I have no idea.
What one was this?
This one was.
I didn't see
What
this
was
one.
this? No, this was Star Child. This is Star Child.
Okay.
But we really don't have a lot to go off of. But I like
Oh.
that it looks like it is like a full featured, like, this is like a full game. It's not just
Okay.
like a tech demo, you know? Like, they're selling it as if, like, this has a story. This has a character you play as. Like, this is a full title for PSVR, which is great. This looks really cool. This is called The Gardens Between. Kind of has a little bit of a Brothers vibe where maybe you're controlling both of them at the same time.
Kind of
Like,
reminds me of The Witness with all the
yeah.
wires.
This was a part of the
I
pre-show.
like this. It's like Brothers meets Rhyme.
Yeah, visually looks really cool. Cool that they put a spotlight on this during the pre-show. Control the flow of time. I think you might even be able to rewind.
Meets Braid.
Yeah, so you can rewind and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so it's definitely gonna have braid mechanics where you grab an item and then go back in time to use that item somewhere else. I
Yeah.
like it. I'm
Very
on
cool
board.
looking.
I definitely want that. That looks really cool.
Yeah, I think it's really cool that they put a spotlight on some of these smaller games at the pre-show. Here is The Last of Us Part 2. Okay, let's talk about this. And everybody watched this yet?
Nope.
Okay,
But
do you want me to
I
like
don't
actually
care.
play the trailer with volume?
Yeah, do it.
Okay,
Just do it.
Hold on a sec. All right, let's watch the actual trailer. Let me go. We'll just go on YouTube, and we'll put it on the browser.
Go to them YouTubes. I like the
Warning,
random
guys!
chuckle from you.
This trailer has graphic
Nice
violence.
hair.
Because that's what people wanted to happen at PGW. They wanted a warning about this trailer because it made a lot of people squeamish. People thought it went too far.
Really?
I will
Really that
agree
bad?
to I think what you said.
I don't think
about-
it's that far. I think it fits perfectly within the
I have to
world
step
of The
up
Last
my
of
little
Us.
Yes.
Tile step stool. I'm too short.
All right, so let me put this up on the browser for people in chats. Browser. Where are you? Full browser. All right. has a very Kojima vibe to me. I love that about it.
They are nested with sin. Free them, that they may know my... Yara! Where is the other apostate? Clip her wings.
Oh no.
That's intense.
Oh my god.
Here.
Just stand there while she chokes to death. That's fine.
Well, they're not together.
Yara. Demons are coming. Cut her down. She's one of them.
Lev.
Watch your backs.
That was the most violent trailer I've ever seen.
Really?
That literally like made my stomach
Like it was just
lurch.
graphic. That was nuts.
The hammer is what does it, right?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
with the arm. You
Yeah,
mean?
with the arm,
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
But, and so, I mean, it could be a thing of maybe just what I play, what I see, what I've been desensitized to, any of that.
Well, hold on. Before I don't know anything about The Last of Us except for how it ended and what the final choice was
Okay.
because I looked it up.
I will try to keep my argument then.
But I need to know
reframed.
who these people are.
We don't know.
We don't know.
There's no context for any of this.
Well, there is and there isn't.
Right, it's hidden context, or possibly hidden context.
I
It's
think
been alluded to.
You can kind of definitely make predictions, and that was like Neil Druckmann came afterwards, and he's like, "We don't want to tell you who these people are. We don't want to tell you when this takes place, but we want to see the predictions you guys come up with." A lot. See, I don't want to say what a lot of people are predicting. I think it's a very possible prediction on who this woman is. And I think if it is who a lot of people are thinking it is, then I think it's really cool what they're setting up here. But I think that's their big mistake. I don't think there's anything wrong with the trailer, personally.
No.
I think that it's perfectly fine to show a trailer like
I mean,
this.
the shock value is definitely there.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'll probably never play it because of
Here's-
that, though.
well-
because I'm not a gory person.
No,
and
that's
that
fine.
Made my stomach.
Would you consider
lurch.
it gore? That's not gore, though.
Graphic.
For me,
It's
like
graphic. Yeah, that is
It's graphic, but it's not
Well,
gore.
so I'm such a and I guess the best word for it is like an emphatic person
Mhm.
that like stuff like this. I'm not like the whole time I was watching that I wasn't thinking like here's this story. I'm like, what if that was me? Like what if that was our life or we're in a zombie situation and I'm getting my arm hammered and shattered by two bald psychos. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah.
You know, because you would definitely be the one.
Hey,
But
now that I take offense to.
But it's just like that fear and that terror that they have to feel, and then they sit there like they're totally fine afterwards. Is like.
Yeah,
Then I
here's a
start
question
going
I
into,
have,
like, the
and I
total
don't think there's anything wrong
psychological-
with you guys feeling this is the most graphic trailer you've ever seen.
Not the most.
Why
graphic I've ever seen,
is a
but-
hammer to the arm worse than heads exploding, heads being pulled off in God of War? Things that are much more graphic than
Which, by the way, was
hammer,
shown in a trailer.
than a
Because-
hammer to an arm. Why is that more
Because
graphic?
a head ripping off is almost fantastical. It's almost
Yeah.
like not real.
Right.
But a hammer to the arm is like
it's just
I
one
could
human
feel
on
my
another
arm
human.
lurch when she.
I
did
think
that.
that's what's impressive about it personally.
Ugh.
That like they really make you feel that moments.
Right, exactly, and that's what I agree with. And I'll tell you right now, that is nothing, and I won't say what happens, but there's something that happens, a big part of the end of a certain chapter in the first game, that is far worse than that.
In a violent standpoint?
Yeah, as far as
Yeah, it's
intensity.
definitely just as-
especially
just
for someone
as-
who's,
yeah.
who's emphatic. Like,
Ozark.
Yep.
There were some parts where I had to like legitimately close my eyes. It's just.
I think we're just getting to a point now where this scene would have been no issue if it was on PS3. This exact scene.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that we're to a point where that could be confused with a real life scene.
Yeah,
that looked
man.
that good that some people would confuse it with not a video game. And
Yeah.
for that reason, people can't remove themselves anymore.
Yeah.
Like there was this barrier before where you could kind of like it desensitized you because it's just a video game.
Yep.
But that did not look like a video game.
Well,
that
and
looked like real life.
It surprised me too because at first there looked like a height difference, and so when they're walking, I was like, "Oh, it's Joel and Ellie holding hands."
They
And
wanted
then-
to fool you that way.
And I was like, "No, that's not what's happening at all, actually, anymore."
Yep.
So.
I think it's a really effective trailer, personally.
Like literally, I have shivers.
I mean, everybody's talking about it. Like,
I'm excited.
And the craziest part is, we don't even know who these characters are. Like, they might be some people we don't even know. I don't think that's the case. I think I know exactly who she is. But I think it's really cool that everybody's talking about this and everybody's theorizing. I think it was a really smart move on their part. And not the entire game is going to be like this. Like, this is one snip of the game. It doesn't mean there's still going to be the humor, probably, that we saw in The Last of Us. You're still going to have jokey Ellie here and there, I'm sure. You know, like, they're not going to remove that entirely.
The lady with the hammer?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to say who I think it is.
Okay.
Just because Kelly's here.
I think I know who you think it is. Well, maybe.
Say who
probably
you
not.
think I think it is.
No, because then I'm gonna be wrong.
No, that's fine. I'm not going to
that's
tell you
fine.
one way or
That's
the
what
other.
we're
I'm not
worried
going to tell you one way or the other if
No,
you're right.
I'm done. I didn't play the first one. I have.
That's
no
why I'm really
business-
curious what you're going to say.
I have
Please.
no business. Well, no, because I'm sure that it's a different character.
Maybe.
No,
Just
I'm-
please.
No, I'm okay.
I can't even guess.
That's fine too. I mean, it wasn't something I realized right away, and only until someone else. I think it was actually Andrew who said that there was a theory for it.
Yeah.
That it makes sense, and immediately as it was said, I was like, oh my god, and I recognized the name and everything like that. Like,
Right. As Rick said, it's supposed to make you uncomfortable. There's no
Right.
way that trailer is not supposed to make you uncomfortable. You're supposed to be squeamish watching that trailer. You're supposed to feel what this world is all about, and like it sells it. Like that. This is like the grim world that these people are living in, and like it's weird that like I want to be a part of that world, but I do.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what it wants you to do. You have to
yeah.
do it, man. That's just
That's the thing about like why do people like violent things? I think it's because you get to experience something that you would never want to in real life, right?
I don't like experiencing violence thing. at
Yeah, but like
all.
you get to
That's
to
just me,
take
though.
part in that kind of thing.
I don't
without
want to take
actually,
part.
I wanna see
without
it.
actually.
Like the people are like, "Oh, the zombie apocalypse would be cool." I'm like, "Well, you can go ahead and die then. I'm gonna be safe in the real world where zombies like aren't gonna chase me and come at me out of the woods.
Right.
And crazy bald psychos are trying to chop my arm off. Oh,
Okay.
my goodness.
I want to talk
don't
about
think
it more,
was-
but I can't.
I don't think it was over the top. I don't think it was unneeded. I do agree where I think that it could have had a
Better disclaimer.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
a better
100% it
disclaimer at
could
the
have.
beginning, stating something. I think it actually is almost necessary
Mm-hmm.
in a situation like that. And I think honestly, that's a little irresponsible of them.
I think
for
they
not
wanted to
doing it.
surprise people, and that kind of sucks. But they didn't want to give
But-
people any heads up. Like hey, be prepared for graphic violence, because that would have made, I think, a lot of people right off the bat think this could be The Last of Us, and they didn't want people to think it was The Last of Us until the last moment when the clickers show up. But I still think, even though the conference as a whole was 18 plus,
Mhm.
you know, it was marked that way, I still think it would have been smart for them to, right before that trailer happened, say, this trailer has graphic violence. Like, that's all they really needed to do. And I think people would have not really had an argument on the case. So,
We're still doing PlayStation stuff. Paris Games recap. We just stopped to.
yeah, that was all. Last of Us was part of Paris Games Week. I mean, let's just kind of rush through.
Just
the
run
rest of
through
them.
because we are so over.
A lot of the PSVR stuff. I'll just announce that really quick. There was a game called Invector, Final Fantasy 15 with the VR for Monster of the Deep. Stifled was another trailer for VR. Dead Hungry for VR. There was Blood and Truth, which is done by London. What's it called? London Studio, I think, right? The ones that did the London Heist for the PSVR demo. Those guys are working on a full game now for VR called Blood and Truth, which really looked cool. And I think that's all the VR stuff. Of course, Ghost of Tsushima was one of the show stealers.
God, that was
Finally,
huge.
the Sucker Punch game has been revealed. Joe, did you see that?
No.
Sucker Punch's new game. It's actually a samurai
Well,
game.
you should have. Yeah, we'll have you go watch that
And,
too. But it looks really awesome.
What's the name of? I'm thinking something Japan.
Tokyo, or not Tokyo?
Like what they call
Feudal?
that. Yes, feudal Japan, samurai. So that's pretty cool that they really went like outside the box on that one. Like everybody's like they'll do superheroes again. It's like nope, not even close. New God of War gameplay inspiring PSX. Big boss battle reveal, which we'll probably see, and some other stuff
Detroit.
too. But Detroit
Detroit had a really
also
good
had a
trailer.
very disturbing,
Right, but
graphic
also
trailer.
for me especially, and probably for you in the same way.
In a different way.
Yeah.
It was domestic
I don't know
violence.
if. Oh, okay. I was gonna say I don't know if it was just I watched the wrong.
You did.
Trailer.
Oh, you absolutely did.
Because I was like, this is totally fine.
Again, I think, did we talk about it tonight, or did we talk about it
No, we didn't
the
talk
other
about
day where we were saying that it feels very disjointed to where we don't
Right.
know how it's going to. Was that Sunday? Was that really a week ago that we talked
No,
about
I guess
this?
it was early, the very beginning of this stream, I think.
Oh, okay.
We
yeah.
talked about it. Predictions. It was during predictions.
Oh, predictions, yeah.
Yeah,
so
it's like-
you watched a very different trailer than what we got, trust
Yeah.
me.
But yes, Paris Games Week was actually really good this year. Surprisingly
Right,
so.
very surprising.
Yeah, but PSX still has some stuff.
Yeah.
They can still do some cool stuff with PSX. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe Kingdom Hearts 3 with that Star Wars reveal, as we predicted earlier.
Yeah.
All right, and that does wrap up the Level Up show for tonight's episode 194.